Welcome back in. Welcome back to MBP Fishing. Yes, sirree. Welcome back into our channel. Yes, this is our channel. Thank you guys for coming in. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Yep, we're back out here. Thanks to a generous donation from Justin Thunderstruck, we were able to get our cell phone back on and get out back here feeding. Yep, still sitting down there, but let's, yep, welcome back in. Welcome back to our channel. Yes, this is our channel, folks. And we are stuck with it, and I like being stuck with it, by the way. I like it. I don't know if you guys, but I love it. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Got 2 dozen night crawlers. That's about as many as I could dig back there in the forest. Got some can of corn, of course, from Safeway. Yeah, let's get these rods out. See if we can catch some fishies. Question is, which rod do I put what on? I don't know. I think I'll try a night worm on my big rod at first. It got all 3 rods out again. Yeah, all my worms went down at the bottom. Freaking crazy. You got uh 2 dozen night crawlers in a little freaking container, and you can't find the little suckers. Yeah, they sneaky. Yeah, these guys are on the edge already. I can see them already. The temperature's about 90, 95 degrees. It's relatively low humidity at least, so it's not too bad out here. Yeah, I'm gonna take only half of this big night crawler because I already got a little one on there. So let me get these rods out and I'll get into chat, folks. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Happy Tuesday, by the way. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, we were off feed for a couple days there. I'm afraid we were getting our cell phone back online. That's a good little cast in there, shallow with a night crawler. And I think I will put corn on this far rod, definitely. And we don't have enough night crawlers to put on all 3 rods. So this is my little 8-pound fluorocarbon rig. This is a little 1/8 ounce crappie jig. Steve Turner, crappiemanjigs.com. Sell some good baits, folks. They're not sponsored by me, just like watching them. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. Like you said, let me get these rods out and I'll get into chat. This is just going to be cast down there. It's going to kind of settle down there to the right down the edge of this stuff down here. And this one's going to be cast straight out. Let's see, I'll try her first with corn, but we might be switching this up because I might be fishing this wrong. I might be needing to put corn on this one and worm on the other rod. I mean, oh, by the way, as you guys can see, the water's going up quite considerably. Yeah, we're up about 4 feet from our previous trip, from our previous live feed down here. She went up. We had a ton of rain. We had several severe thunderstorms, which kind of forced me to abandon my campsite for a couple of days. And there's not much you can do when you're having like 15 to 20 mile per hour winds and severe heavy duty rain. And yeah, that little Ozark Trails tent is not designed for that. There's a big one just jumped way out there. There's a big one. I don't know what that was. All right, second rod is going out now. Yeah, this has got corn on it, folks. We might be putting worm on this one and corn on that far rod because I'm not sure about what's going to be in the shallows and they're pinging our baits to death. And one thing with the water a little higher, we shouldn't get snagged as badly because this should be mostly sand down here now. All right, I think that will do it for our rod setup. And this one needs to be tightened just a little bit, obviously. See if these are snagged up. That's kind of settled. No, it's on the bottom. So good about that. All right. I turned this on, but I didn't boot it up. So just give me a second here to get this on, and we'll get into chat. Hope you guys enjoy the show today. By the way, if you guys want to donate, PayPal and Cash App's linked on the description on my main channel, on my bio channel, on my bio. Helps out the channel so much, my friends, right now, and we could definitely need some donations. Going to be a couple more days before YouTube, so I get a payment on YouTube. That was a bite on corn. If something gave that middle rod a couple pecks. Ooh, I saw that, folks. Yeah, I saw that. That was a bite on worm too. Oh, you little stinker! Wonder what that was. Maybe should have let that one hit it a little bit more. All right. We were just about ready to get into chat here, folks, but we're getting there. Getting the kinks out of the rope. Getting everything ready to go here. And the water's actually as high as it is. It's relatively clear, which is kind of weird because usually when the sucker gets higher, it starts getting muddy. But we've got about 2 feet of water clarity, which is actually pretty clear for this water for this level. I think that means a lot of this water is coming from the Mississippi rather than from the Missouri, because the Missouri is kind of a more muddier river. All right, now where are we in chat here? Here we are, folks. Yep, here we are, my friends. Yep, here we are. You guys enjoy the show today. See, Chris, Cuz is first in. How you doing today, Cuz? Does a bite on worm. Thanks for coming in. Hope you enjoy the show. Cuz says hello. Let's see, Positive Pokes. Positive Pokes says, good day, Bill Dance. Good day to you too, my friend. Let's see, Chris says, good luck, brother. How you doing today, Chris? Come in and I hope you guys enjoy the show today. Let's see, Bonnie. Bonnie says, so happy to see you, Mike. Glad you got the funds to get your phone back on. And let's get them. Yep, let's get them, folks. Yep. Thanks to a generous donation from Justin. Was a bite on corn down there. Justin Funderburg, we were able to get our cell phone back on. And Mental, how you doing today, Mental? Mental says hi. Mental says hi again. Mental says like. Mental says hi. Awesome, my friend. Chris says Mental. Mental says hello, everyone. Everyone else, good to see you. Let's see, Ace, how you doing today, Ace? He says, good luck out there, dude. Thank you, my friend. Mental says hello. And Malik, hi, Malik. Malik says, Mike, you can also put a link to the GoFundMe in your bio. I can't seem to be able to access that myself. We're gonna have to talk about that. I think there's some funds I can't access on there right now. Mental says MBP Fishing, hello. Mental says MBP Fishing, brother. Namaskar and the prayers. Mental says hello, everyone. Mental with the hearts. Mental with another and another and another heart. And Ranyo, how you doing today, Ranyo? Ranyo says hey. Mental says hi. Ranyo says looks fishing. Let's see, Govinda. How you doing today, Govinda? Gavin. Yep, Gavin, I see it. English if you can. If you can't, emojis are fine, my friend. Mental says hi. JK. JK, MN, O, HN, and more hearts. Let's see, Munchie. How you doing today, Munchie? Munchie says hello, my, yeah, I am Caucasian. So, yeah. 11 people in and 15 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Hello, my friend. Mental says hi. And Dave. How you doing today, Dave? Dave says hi. We were getting bites on that one worm, so let me see what's going on with it. Kind of pecked on it a couple times and let it go. So, and we got some big time bubbles out here, folks. I don't know what these guys are. And we've got some stuff chasing some fry around here as well. They kind of look like some small gar and some small skipjacks. So you never know what's going to hit down here right now. I mean, very small skipjack, like 3 inches long. Probably washed out of a slough down here or something. That looks okay. No worries about our bait. I might need to put a little bigger weight on, folks, because I'm having a little trouble holding out here in this current. As the water gets higher down here, the current's going to start ripping more, so I'm going to have to put on a little bigger weight down here. We got a set of bubbles, set of bubbles, set of bubbles wave out there, set of bubbles in here, and a set of bubbles over there. So we definitely got some actively feeding fish in here. Haven't seen any hit the surface yet, but that doesn't mean they're not out here. And what did I do with this one? Oh, just got muck on it. I thought it fell a little weighted down. Thought I hit someone else's line. I had a bite on corn out there. Just peck, 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 and then let it go. Interesting. Going to be one of those days where I think worm is going to be our best bet because with a little higher water, fish have got a lot more area to feed and look around for food. So they're looking for something that's making more scent rather than something that's making a lot more coloration like that corn. But never know. I could be wrong. You never know. And I'm just checking these to make sure they're okay. Yep, none of them were snagged. So, yeah, that is a good sign. That's very good, folks. You know, we've been having trouble with snags down here, but when the water gets a little higher, right now we're in like kind of a, there's a big one just hit the surface right to the left of us, folks. I mean, just straight, straight out from you guys. That's a big one too, whatever it was. All right, those look good, folks. I think I really would like this one rod sticking out further so she sets. I'm not sure if you can see her though. And we might be switching up rod setups here. I might be putting the worm on that one. I mean the corn on that one and the worm on this one because it looks like this is the area where the species of fish that are going to hit worm are like freshwater drum, blue cat, channel catfish, flathead. Over here and over here looks more like carp territory, and this one really looks like gar territory over here because I'm seeing a lot of like gar about this big coming up to the surface. And oh, there's a bite on worm. I saw that. Okay, he's pecking on it. Let me see if I can get to him. Hey, he's running up current. What do you do to it? Huh? Didn't even bother it. Interesting. Well, to start, we're getting bites, and right now with all this rising water and everything, and the temps the way they are, I figured I'd fish our little sandy bar down here, see if I can catch something for you guys. Maybe I can get a big old river monster, maybe a couple river brutes. This spot's only failed us a few times. All right, that looks good. I mean, the way that setup is, that's going to settle straight down and kind of hold right there in like 4 or 5 feet of water. All right, let's get back in that chat, see what's going on. You guys are enjoying the show today. Let's see, Gail says, nice to see you. Boot in a boot. Let's see, mental with the hearts. Gail says, go mental. Mental says, Gail. Hello. Mental says, hi. Mental says, hi again. Mental says, he. Let's see, and Paul. How you doing today, Paul? Paul says, MBP. Mental says, imp. Morning. And Dougie Doug, what's going on? How you doing today, Doug? Doug says, hi, Mike. And seeing Pigeon. How you doing today, Pigeon? Pigeon says hi. Paul says, how's it been, buddy? Okay. I'm doing okay. Got the cell phone on. That was a big deal. Still got our little site set up so we can get away from the daggone mosquitoes down here. Mental says, Doug. Mental says hi. Gail says, we want a gar. I'm seeing a lot of them right now, buddy. I think we got a relatively good chance of getting some. If I can get the hooks into the suckers. Let's see, Gail says, and Chris says, good luck. And Adam, how you doing today, Adam? Adam says, good luck, MVP, let's go. Paul says, hey. Paul asks, hey, Mike, how's it going today? Said, doing okay, Paul. We're just getting started. I'm dealing with it. Trying to get to the first of the month. Chris says, hey, Paul. Ewas says, hey, MVP. How you doing today, Ewas? Chris says Ewas. Paul says, slaying them. Slaying them up, I see. We are just getting started, my friend. Got about 2 dozen night crawlers. Well, we got 22 left now because I've used 2 of them up already. Paul says, hey, Crystal Legend. And Ewas says, howdy, everyone. Doug says, mental. Paul says, hey, Ewas. Oh, there's a... Got him, folks. Fish on. Uh-oh. That's okay. What do we got? I think we got a buffalo. Drag's a little loose. Yep, buffalo. No, wait. No, channel cat. Oh, that's a nice channel. Man, that is a nice channel catfish, folks. He on a big Mad Cat series. That's a couple pounds. Come here, big guy. Yeah, I'm not sure if the line will take this. This is a pretty big one. Oh, yep. Yeah, it's about 2.5, 3 pounds. Awesome fish, folks. First of the day. We got him. Yeah, finally that one hit it. That is an incredibly beautiful channel catfish, folks. Yeah. You know, usually we get channel catfish, they're kind of banged up and bruised up. Man, this is a picture perfect channel cat. And we got boat traffic. Hang on, folks. I'm going to have to watch the waves here. Just a second. I think we're okay. Oh, dang it, dude. Man, he just had a fit. Sheesh. Man, that channel catfish had a fit, folks. Ow. Yeah, I think we're pushed back okay, folks. I just wanted to make sure our camera angles and everything, we were pushed back okay. You got all mucky. What is wrong with you, channel? Sheesh. So you guys are going to be like that today, huh? And we got to get our cat cleaned off. Cat got all mucky. Don't want to get him in the house with all the muck on him. All right, there we go, folks. That's about 2 pounds. Beautiful fish, my friends. Gotta love it. Yeah, we got him right in the lip, so he's got a little bit of a... Let me see if I can get that to stop. Little water on that little lippy spot. All right. Incredible first fish, folks. Gotta love it. What's the title of this live feed? All right. That's about 2 pounds. That's a picture perfect one, folks. Incredible. Gotta love it, my friends. All right, buddy, let's get you in here close for everyone to see. Yeah, that is just a beautiful channel catfish, folks. Incredible. That is a cat, folks. Gotta love it. Yeah, all right, girl. Let's get you back in the water. Girl or boy or other. All right, buddy. Ready to go? All right, there you go. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciated. Hey, that was a nice channel catfish, folks. Man, that was fun. Let's do it again. Yeah, I don't mind catching fish that ain't gonna break my head open for once. I need to get this rod back out. I'll get back in the chat, folks. That was on a 1/8 ounce, it's a little 1/8 ounce bell weight on there. They probably about a 10-inch leader. That's got one of my little weight stops on there. Incredibly effective. And we got a lot of extra soil in here. I didn't know how long they were going to be in the heat, so I kind of gave them a little bit too much soil. And we only got 2 dozen of those night crawlers, so we got to make them last. But heck, if we can get a fish on every 2 worms, that's doing pretty good. I'll take that any day of the week, my friends. All right. That can be put somewhere where it's not going to get knocked over. Yeah, I didn't bring the worm bucket, folks. There's only 2 dozen, so I figured, what the heck? No reason to bring the old worm bucket with us. Not for only 2 dozen. And well, I thought they want worm rather than corn because obviously with the rising water they're gonna their vision is a little bit more impaired than normal, and even fish that feed by smell do feed by sight slightly. So that was a little bit further out. Unfortunately, I'm having a little bit of trouble with the stupid reel again. All right, and that knocked the beta right up the hook. I want that on there. That's better. And that reel is finally breaking back in after being greased and oiled and greased, and finally starting to work a little bit better. Hey, what a nice first fish, folks. We might be in for it today. Let's see, Doug says Chris. Let's see, Paul says hello, cuz. Doug says Paul. Cuz says Paul. Paul says I wanted to stop on through and see how you were making out. I'm doing okay. Could be better, could be worse. Right? Every day above ground is a blessing, trust me. See, Pigeon says, where are you fishing at? We are fishing on the mighty, muddy Mississippi River down in St. Louis, Missouri, my friend. Paul says, just back from chumming the carp spots. Thursday. Evening, so I completely complete the night carp fishing. All right, got you, my friend. Sounds like some interesting content coming. Let's see, Dwayne. How you doing today, Dwayne? Dwayne asks, where are you fishing? This is Riverfront Trails. We're fishing on the Mississippi River down by the Arch in St. Louis. Basically, St. Louis, Missouri. Chris says fish on. Let's see, Mental says hi. Cuz says fish on. Paul says, right at the bank. Yeah, they can come in right by those channel catfish. They'll come in really close to the shoreline, especially when the water's rising. see, Mental says hi. Let's see, and Bonnie, how you doing today? Bonnie says, nice fish. Cuz says, nice catch. Let's see, Dakota says, hey, Mike, looking good, bro, and nice cat. Awesome, my friend, and thank you for coming in and dropping by. Hope you enjoy the show today. Yeah, we were getting a bite on that one. I was kind of watching it. And all right, Chris, let me find that in chat over here and pin that. Thank you so much, Chris. Let me see if I can find it here. And there we go. Let's see. Paul says, Chris Thursday, I go with two snowmen and two bottom baits. All right, pick. Oh, you little stinker, man! It's just really mashing that. I may not even need two worms, folks. That was two. He hit it really hard. So let me cut down to only one. Let's see if they'll hit only one. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Water's kind of mucky, so I'm not sure if it's usually like in this time of the year, it's lower, so it's like 3 or 4 foot water clarity. We are kind of a bit higher, so it's still about 2 feet of water clarity. So we're not too icky, at least. Yeah, trust me, I got a mic feed on. Across the river is a quarry. He's making a heck of a lot of racket. I see Paul with the emojis. And Pierre, how you doing today, Pierre? Pierre says hi, and Pierre with the thumbs up. Paul says hey. Cuz says Pierre. Pierre says Paul. Chris says Pierre. Pierre says Chris. Pierre says Cuz. Chris says, nice Paul. I hope it will do the trick. Let's see. Dakota says female channels have a more pointed, and males have a borderline less pointed snout. Yeah, that's why I think that was a female. Doug says Pierre. And Tim, how you doing today, Tim? Tim says hi. Pierre says Doug. I'll have to check it on the feed when I get back home. Chris says hi, Tim. Pierre says first fish, cold beer with the fly, Doug. Deposit says told you tiny channels. Tiny. You know how the size of the channel catfish they stock in the lakes around here? They're like a half pound. Channel actually don't get all that big in most places. Biggest you usually get in the lakes around here, if that, is like 3 or 4 pounds. And those are fish that have been in there a while. Now, blue cat, they get real big. A channel, not so much. They do get big eventually. It's just the majority of them are taken out for their time. I don't do it. Other people do it. They stock them in there about this big. Like a lot of the lakes around here, they stock them about a half pound. And like 90% of those little catfish get taken out the first month they stock it. And so it's a shame, but that's the way it is in cities. Positive says, checking the bait all day. Tim says, my girlfriend broke up with me sad. And broke my heart. I'm going to start crying. She chatted, she chatted, cheated on me. Prayers, Tim. I said there's it's always tomorrow, my friend. As it says, girls like a buses. Chris says, miss one next 15 minutes, one coming. As it says, good man. Good man. Ewa says, Tim, let's not. Yeah, I know. I watched this in chat earlier, so please, you have my prayers, Tim. But this is a fishing channel. Let's keep it friendly. Fishing and let's keep it friendly. Kevin, how you doing today, Kevin? Kevin says hello from upstate New York, 2 hours south of Montreal, Canada. Awesome, my friend. We are down in St. Louis, Missouri. Ewa says, hey, Kevin. As it says, the other day, you were getting pecked and said tiny channels. Yeah, it's very positive. They were tiny channels, tiny blue cat, but the thing is you never know. I mean, there could be like this, like here, there could be like 30 of these little channel out there, right? And there could be 4 or 5 real big ones, and then there could be like 7 or 8 big old carp or buffalo or whatever, just all sitting in this one spot. Just this is an incredible little spot for them to rest up and relax, so they could pile up in here. You never know. Tim says, I want bass fishing equipment. Awesome, my friend. There's a little pick. Come on, buddy, hit it. He was bouncing it again. Tim says, I go fishing. And Tim, damn. Kevin says, hi. Let's see, mine says, small fish bringing the big fish. That will happen too as well. You'll have a whole school of little fish just eating and eating and eating, just tearing your baits to pieces. And all of a sudden that will, motion and actions and stuff will actually bring in some bigger fish. Because they'll just tear your baits to pieces and they'll get a line of, like a bait line going. And that pretty much cleaned the majority of that worm off. That was just one worm though, so I'm not too worried. You only got about 2 dozen of these, so I got to watch what I'm doing. And a few of them are big, so I can cut them in half multiple times. These guys are just single shots. They're only about 2 inches long. And we might be switching up rods here, folks, because I'm not sure what's going on with these other ones. Let me check them out while I'm here. No bites on these corn baits today. Getting a lot of muck on the line, which doesn't help. And corn don't like carp don't like corn with their leaves with their corn. I don't. It's still vegetable matter, but they just don't like it. You'd think it wouldn't matter to them, but it does. Put a little bit more bait out in the water here because this with this water rising, I think they're gonna need some bait out here to get them feeding. Freaking ant, get off me! Little sucker was biting the heck out of me. Ooh, that was a little stinker. That's a tiny little itty bitty teeny little black ant. Man, that sucker hurt. Get off! Final worm, I see him. Gone, folks. Fish on. Fish on. We got a drum. Awesome. Our second fish of the day. Yeah, just pecking on it. That's why I said you never know what the heck's going to be hitting from one bite to the next. Yeah, that's a dark drum there. That's a nice, like, almost pounder. Probably 3/4 of a pound on that one. Second fish of the day, my friends. Gotta love it. Yeah, it looks like I pushed back just far enough to where the camera's not going to get washed away. Beautiful fish, folks. I could probably keep that as cut bait, but yeah, I don't know. I think I'll skip for the day. Gotta love it, my friends. Check this guy out. Boy, that's a white, really light colored one there. Look at it in that sun. Beautiful fish, folks. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. All right, buddy. Let's get you off the hook and get you back in the water. Doing drum things, whatever drums do. Does anyone know what a drum does? Because I would really want to find out. I mean, there's some weird suckers. All right. No muss, no fuss, no blood. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciated. All right. And we even got the majority of our worm back. That's always a plus. Yeah, that's one of our big night crawlers. I can cut that in half. So we may have gotten 2 dozen worms, but I should be able to get at least 30 bites out of these guys because I can cut those worms into pieces. All right, not a bad second fish, folks. I'll take this any day of the week. This is fun. That wasn't a great cast. I kind of stopped it a little early, but I'll recast her. A lot of barge activity right now, folks. With the rising water, the barges are probably the Missouri Corps of Engineers is allowing the barge traffic to increase down here because there's not as much chance for them to bank, so they're opening her up for barge traffic right now. Kind of when the time they should really do it is when the water's uh, up around this range, so I can't complain. And this is the perfect time for them to do it. Get that corn grain and soybean moved. Kevin says hi. Bonnie says small fish. Yep, you got it. Let's see. Bonnie says camouflage corn. Let's see. Chris says fish on. Bonnie says good size one too. Dakota says don't tell him too much, Mike. You'll call in the big beast that weighs so much that the picture weighs 7 pounds. Hey, that's not that bad. Just wait till you catch one where the picture weighs 12 pounds. Let's see. Tim says nice and good. Let's see. Chris says drum make good music. Yeah, that's true. That's bite on worm. Pick, 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 pick. Come on, buddy. Come on. Hit it. Again with that little peck, peck, peck and dropping it. What did he do to it? Doesn't look like he got much of the worm off. I cut that worm in half to begin with, so we'll let that tip dangle, give him a little bit more of a interest. All right, back out there. Let's let that settle, and we'll get back into chat. I hope I've got the rod tip in view because this big rod is pretty dang long. Kind of one of those things where this rod has to be set just right for you to be able to get it into the feed and you into the feed. Nice drum. Gail says, thank you. Kevin says, catching different kinds of fish. Yeah, down here we get a lot of different from buffalo, grass carp, channel, blue cat, flathead, common carp, gar. Yeah, we get a lot of different ones. Dakota says 41 likes, Mike. 26, yep, 26 people in it, seeing 49 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Oh, pop, missed him. Dang it. Ooh, just a split second behind that one, folks. Ooh. Thanks, Dakota. I need to get you a wrench. I need to get over there and find it. Hang on, folks. I need to do something on the main channel here. Let's see. Add standard. There we go. There you go, Dakota. You've been in quite a bit recently, so welcome to the Blue Jacket Club, my friend. That was a terrible, terrible cast, Michael. Just, blech. Man, made me want to throw up. So bad. That's better. It's about 3 feet further. It'd be much easier on my other rod, to be honest, but I'm just lazy. I don't want to rig it back up. Switch them from weights to weights and rods to rods. It's just takes so much time doing that. Let's see. That was a bite on corn. I saw that off the top of my eye. Good luck, Mike. Gary says. Thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. Let's see. Cuz says 41 likes. Let's go. Double tap the screen. It's for free. Thank you for supporting the channel. What's that? Asha. How you doing today, Asha? Asha says hi. Hey, Asha. Yeah, those waves are interesting today. They're not really bothering me, so I'm not really too worried about them. All right, let's ow, you stupid. Ooh, that little stinkers. Man, I'm getting a few ants off the because it says thank you, Mike. I enjoy fishing with you. I can no longer go myself, so I get to fish with you. Awesome, my friend. That's why I kind of set the camera up like this, so it's kind of like you guys are right down, sitting over there, right on the river with me. Try to get as good a camera angle on the river, the rods, and the fish as I can. I thought about setting up multiple camera feeds, but I need multiple devices for that. And this one, this tablet, it doesn't get a great picture, I'm afraid. I already checked it. See, Tim says, I caught a yellow bass, 0.71 pounds. Nice. Get a few yellow bass down here, not many. Usually when the water's lower, when I'm fishing for white bass down here, I'll get a few yellow bass. Not many of those guys. Been a while, in fact. I haven't seen a yellow bass since the spring, when the water was low. They go over in these sloughs and stuff over. There's some very shallow sloughs across the river, so they head into those shallow backwaters. Now, the white bass tend to stand in the main channel out there, which is dang near impossible to get to them unless you got a boat. Fun to try sometimes. I'll bomb baits out there on occasion, get one every once in a while. This river's so much better when the for like white bass and stripers and like those game fish everyone are always going after, walleye, when the water's low. Now when the water's high, there's still some good game fish in here. A lot of catfish, carp, grass carp, buffalo, channel catfish, just a wide variety of fish. It's just those ones that tend to hit artificials and stuff. It takes got to be a little bit lower. That's okay, my friend. Right now, I'm in between addresses. If you want to donate to the channel, PayPal and Cash App's linked in the description on my main channel. If you do, if you don't, it's okay. Well, we're kind of like in a situation right now, so anything you can help, it it's fine if it's just an option. I like to leave it there for folks, and those donations are immediate and they are confidential. Tim says, "I will get a fish for you out there and catch one, my friend." Yeah, Kevin says walleye are great eating. They are very good eating. I can actually catch a few more sauger down here than walleye. I caught 3 walleye this spring and like 5 sauger. So honestly, I was fishing more for trout during that time. Oh, dang it. Seriously, how am I missing those little stingers pecking like that? They ain't getting the bait off on me. Not that easily right now because I ain't giving them that much. Let me just string this worm straight up the hook here. Make it so anywhere he's going to bite has got to have a hook in it. They don't seem to care at them right now at the amount of bait. They're just going after it. Must be in kind of like a feeding frenzy with this water going up the way it is. There's a there. I saw that right off the corner of my eye. A big one hit the surface over there. That's just a little bit too far out of my range. Kind of looked like a catfish, but that sucker was out there deep. One of those fish that are traveling, be hard to catch. You know, unless you had a boat or something. Yeah, you had a boat, it would work. Dakota says, I have some great heavy catfishing poles and reels that you could enjoy. I would take them too, my friend, but unfortunately, I'm right in the middle of, yeah, you kind of in the middle of moving right now. Man, I don't know why I can't hook them little stinkers. They are like seriously carrying on that worm. Usually, I'm okay with that. Dougie Doug sent me uh, some weights and some hooks and stuff, and Dirty, he sent me this big cat series, this Mad Cat series rod. But right now, I'm kind of in the middle. I don't have a mailing address that I can get that stuff forward to, I'm afraid. I talked to the gas station owner down there. She said the manager, she said I could probably get it sent there, but I don't know. It seems like a major difficulty. What the heck is wrong with that thing? The anti-backlash thing is making it backlash because it's sticking real bad. Look at that, just this thing should cast. There, cast it way over the level of where I should have had to do that. Yeah, this one reel is pretty old, folks. So now the rod's good. It's just I don't have that's an old Shakespeare. I've had that since like years and years and years. Let's see. Dakota says, "You let me know when I can send them, and if I'm still here, I will donate them." All right, my friend. Like I said, I was talking to the gas station owner about it, but yeah, I'm not sure. Well, the manager, she said I could, but Tim says I'm gonna start to do playing my guitar on my YouTube channel. Hey, sounds like an interesting hobby. There are plenty of YouTube guitar channels. They do pretty good. Kevin says, Tim, keep us posted when you do. Yep. That's a bite on corn. Got him, folks. Fish on. That's on corn. Yikes. Whoa. Yeah, that's a big one, folks. Yeah, it's in the current. We might be going after this fish. Oh, boy, that's a big one, folks. Whoa, girl. Whoa. Yeah, that fish just... That fish just realized it was hooked. Come on, girl. Turn. That's it. I let up on the pressure a little bit. She just popped up. Oh, man. What happened? Nothing. She just popped off on me. Yeah, she was in that heavy current down there, getting closer and closer to those rocks, and I had to keep on pulling harder and harder, and that hook just popped out. Dang it. That was a big one, folks. Shoot. Well, I don't think that's the only one we're going to have today, because that one was... Man, she took off. She was about halfway down to that bridge, folks. She was... Man. Well, that's fun for a minute there, wasn't it? Oh, well. Yeah, that was a big one, folks. That was probably a common carp. With the way that sucker was running, yeah, it's probably a 10 or 15 pound common. It does explain why that hook popped out like that, too. Sometimes you get them right in the wrong place, and I got that one, folks. Fish on. That's not as big as our last one. Not by a long shot, but hey, a fish is a fish. Hey, another channel cat. Man, I hope that wasn't a channel. Sheesh. If that was a channel cat, I'm in trouble. Might have been a blue. I mean, could have been a 20 or 30 pound blue cap. They'll run like that. Our second channel catfish of the day, folks. Awesome. Man, I wish I'd have gotten that other one, folks. I wish I would have, but what are you going to do? He was going towards that bridge. I had to stop him, and the hook pulled out. If I hadn't stopped him, she would have kept on going and kept on going. Or I'd have gone after her, which has happened on occasions. Don't ask me where I put the tripod to carry you guys. You don't want to know. Awesome fish. That's about a pound. Yeah, a little bit over a pound, in fact. Beautiful third fish. So if we caught 2 channel catfish in a freshwater drum. Missed another big one. But I don't think that's going to be our last. Gotta love it, my friends. Gotta love it. Check this pretty little kitty out. Yeah, that's a little bit bigger than the ones they stock at fairgrounds. Fairgrounds in O'Fallon. Man, he's a mad cat. He's a mad cat. All right, buddy. One more look with you guys before we get him back in the water. Incredible. I love it, my friends. All right. Where are you? Where's that hook? It's like on the upper part of the jaw again. Yeah, those bait hooks, they push right on the upper part of the jaw. And that hook is out. Come on, buddy. Ow, don't fin me, buddy. Ow. He don't like this. All right. Hook is out, folks. No muss, no fuss, no blood. All right, buddy. See you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was right up in the... That's where these hooks go, folks, because see how that hook points up like that? It'll get them right in the upper part of the jaw. It's a perfect spot. It's just meat up there. Man, I wish I'd have gotten that other one, folks, but he had to go that way. The majority of the fish we hook, folks, go that way because they don't want nothing to do with that heavy current. That sucker took off straight down that heavy current. Oh well. It was fun. Kind of heart racing because I was about ready to go, okay, guys, hold on. I'm going to grab you and go on after her. Because if she'd have made it down to that bridge, she'd have probably gone into the inside of that and kept on going that direction. Yeah, that one on corn was just going ping, 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 very, very lightly, like common carp do when they get a bait into their mouths. They're tasting it. Wow, that was a good cast there. Wish I could do that all the time. What are you gonna do, folks? What are you gonna do? But get back out there and get out there and fish again. Usually they don't go that way, folks. You know that. Like 99 out of 100 of them will go that direction, but that one wanted to go the other way. Come on, folks, fish on. We're starting to get them now. Awesome, another one, another freshwater drum. So 2 freshwater drum and 2 channel cap. Yeah, another like 3/4 of a pound guy. Beautiful fish, folks. I love it. Uh, man, that's a really silvery one there, folks. Very healthy. This is about the size you want to take home. So that's about the same meat, the same quality, the same as a good white bass. Not quite as good as a quality as a crappie or a walleye, but very close. It's like walleye meat except for just a little bit more gamier. Not a bad gamey. Not like a super fishy flavor. Now, if you get them like over 4 or 5 pounds, yeah, you start getting that really fishy flavor. Yeah, don't taste so good. All right, they really don't. These guys, they taste great about this size. I love it, my friends. Ow! Don't bite me. You nipped at me. Sheesh. When have you guys bite? Weird fish. You tried. You buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciated. I think that's 2 freshwater drum and 2 channel catfish so far. Not bad at all. That corn, I'm amazed that fish went that direction. They never go that way. That's why I'm thinking that was a common carp, because usually when those grassies and buffalo get near that edge, they turn back around and go in the other direction. And you notice that one turned around for a second and then just said, heck it, I'm just going to keep on going. He kept on going, and that's when that hook popped out. I had to turn him. I knew I had to turn him before he got down there by that bridge. All right, one rod back out. Trying to get both of these rods back out so I can get back into chat. We got a pretty good run there. I think that might be 3 freshwater drum. So 3 freshwater drum and 2 channel cat. And none of these fish are small, folks. These all are good fish. And now I got to tighten that drag back down because I loosened her up because that fish was running bad. That's pretty much where she was. All right, looking good, folks. Let's get back into chat. Man, that was a big one. I'm sorry I missed her, folks, but we got another two right after. See, where am I in chat here? Man, I missed it. Where are we, folks? All right, here we are. Let's see. Dakota says, Tim says, and Kevin says, Tim, keep us posted when you do. Let's see. Cuz says, fish number 3, a third on. Kevin says, big carp maybe, or a gar. Felt like a common carp. The way that fish was running, usually grousies don't do that. They'll set in a spot and they'll thrash their heads. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, Gail. Yes, Dakota says, I even felt that one here. Gail says, fish on. Gail says, nice kitty. Thank you, Gail. That's it. Pew says, good, Bonnie. Bonnie says, had to redo that. I'm going to have to. So we caught, I think, 3 freshwater drum and 2 channel catfish so far. Two channel catfish and 2 drum, and yeah, I just caught a third one. Was that the third or the fourth? I'm not. Heck. Let's see. Bang the drum. Yep, that was another one. So that was yeah, 3 freshwater drum and 2 channel catfish. And Burks, how you doing today, my friend? Burks says hello, everyone. Arnold says hello, everybody. Bonnie says welcome, Burks. Ewa says Burks. I'm seeing Liza. How you doing today, Liza? Liza says hi. Arnold says, have a good one, Mike. And good to see you. Good to see you too, my friend. Liza says hi, Burke. Cuz says Liza. Let's see. Doug says hi, Burke. Liza says hi, Cuz. Arnold says Liza, hello. Liza says, like the lock, uh, the looks of this place. Yeah, it's a nice river down here. Very peaceful, quiet, and relaxing. Burke says, hours you'll enjoy your days. You'll see as well. All right, let me get over there and pin that message. Liza says, hi, kid. And here we are, kid. How you doing today, kid? Kid says hi. Let me pin that our new fish count up. 4 drum, 2 drum, and 2. Yeah, there we are. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Dougie, Doug. Appreciate it, my friend. Doug says hi, Liza. Let's see, Liza says hi, Doug. And see, Cuz says hi, kid. Hey, that fish might actually come back, cuz that fish just it pulled out on us. See, Cuz says kid. All right. 27 incredible people in and 50 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. And Gary, how you doing today? Yep, same about the about that big one. Yeah, unfortunately, that does happen. Sometimes you'll get them hooked in the wrong place, or yeah, they'll run, and you'll have to try to stop that fish, and it just happens. I mean, that's why they call it fishing and not catching, because every once in a while you're just fishing. Kid says cuz hi. All righty, folks, looking good. 32 people, 32 incredible people in. I'm surprised that pulled out. I mean, I was I wasn't really pulling all that much at the moment that pulled out, but I did pull her quite a bit to slow her down. So that's probably why she pulled out, because I had to put that extra force in there to slow that fish down. And it's a shame it didn't hit on our big Mad Cat series rod, because I'd have gotten him on that sucker. I'd have turned him on that thing way before he got that far out. Yeah, that's one of the benefits of if you're allowed to chum up your location. It is allowed down here on the Mississippi River. In fact, it's allowed in any Missouri waters that aren't stocked with rainbow trout or are not otherwise marked. Because there are a few lakes around St. Louis that specifically say no chumming on them. Obviously, because they mean that. I think it's because of the geese, honestly, because people will chum up the spot for fish, and you'll wind up getting all those geese and stuff staying in there. And you know what happens when you have a whole bunch of geese staying in a spot for a long period of time? You get a lot of geese poop. A lot of geese poop. A lot. Like, seriously, when you're walking, you're going, you. Man, that stuff smells. What have them geese been eating? Shame it wasn't a little bit lower too, because that fish would have ran. He'd have kept on going, and he'd hit that. Because there's a little rock face right here, folks. Right here, right in front of us. It When the water gets a little lower, they'll run and they'll stop and they'll hit that and they'll come right back. Unfortunately, that fish just kept on going down that current. He's like, "Nope, I don't care. I'm going that way. I don't care. I'm going that way." All right, looks like we're set for chat. We're set for the rods. They're holding pretty good right now. We had a pretty good run there for a minute, didn't we? Let's see if they keep on hitting. So our Mike B doing okay? Mike B's doing okay. We're in pretty good sun out here, so it's not uncommon to have your electronics just turn off for no reason. And we're set for chat too. Wanted to make sure I was set so I knew where I was. I never check that stuff over here. Where did I put my coffee anyways? I also forgot all those donations through PayPal and Cash App. You guys know that unlike YouTube where you have to wait like a month for that stuff to process and everything, that goes straight to me in seconds. So it's a very effective way of transferring money, and it's perfectly safe, folks. I've never had any trouble with it, to be honest. People always say they have trouble with it. Must be on the wrong applications. Cause says, "Cuz." That's the end. Dan, how you doing today, my friend? Dan says, "Hello, wonderful people." Hello to you too, Dan. Cuz says, 49 likes. Keep them coming. Double tap a screen. It's free. Thank you for supporting the channel. Yes, sir. Thank you for supporting, and I hope you have an awesome day. That's good, says Dan. That's Bunny with a shout out. Cuz, says Dan. Hey, man, where'd that wind come from? Sheesh. That's kid says, Dan, I subscribe. All right, I got you, my friend. I knew that was going to happen. Like all of a sudden, the wind starts blowing 30 miles per hour. I did not have that set for 30-mile-per-hour friggin' winds. Where the heck did this wind come from? It was dead down here a minute ago. Well, I'm not complaining about the wind. It feels great, but where the heck did this come from? Like a little mini tornado down on the river? I don't know. That just showed up, folks. That just, sorry about your heads. Again, I am so sorry. Does anyone need an ice pack, maybe? I'm sorry about that. I feel sorry. I knew that was going to happen because all of a sudden, I like, that's 30-mile-per-hour winds. What the heck? And it says, likewise, kid. It says, Dan, thank you. I knew it. I was just lazy. I didn't want to come over and grab you guys. It's just sand, folks. Bonnie says no sleeping on the job, everyone. And seeing right, see Rice. How you doing today, Rice? Rice Kid says, hey, how you doing today, my friend? Because says that wind sounds strong. All of a sudden, and now it just stops. I mean, I think we just had like a little mini twister go around. We'll just go over the water. That was weird. There's no wind out here right now, folks. And then all of a sudden there's 15, 20-mile-per-hour winds. See, Rice says, hey, Rice says, hey, Rice says, hey, and Rice says, hey. Tim says, I'm starting to do the bounty hunter in Idaho. Interesting, my friend. Let's see, kid says, Rice. Kid says, Rice, I subscribed. Yeah, let me make sure to get you a sub as well here. There you go. That should push you up to 13 now. I even pushed the bell. All right, let's see what's going on with these rods. That was a really good bite on that one, and then that was the only bite I had out there, which is weird. This is my backup account. I like to put her in at least once a feed. Put in a few reactions. And there we go. Said in chat, 22 incredible people in, 56 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Man, I wish I'd have gotten that big one. That's crazy how that just pulled out. Though that hook wasn't bent, the line didn't snap, nothing. She just popped out on me. We got a boat in the background. Let's see, Les. How you doing, Les? Les says MVP. How you doing today, my friend? That was a pretty good gar. Just hit the surface. Because says I'm Michael. Let's see, Les says chilling in Kentucky. Nice to hear, Les. It's about 92 degrees out here right now today. Pretty dry, but still kind of hot. It's almost it's pure blue sky except for that direction. Yeah, we got some puffy clouds that way, and straight over the top of us, it's clear blue. Let's see. Dan says Heather sent a present through PayPal, Mike. Oh, let me check that out. Dan, let me make sure I. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that so much. Let's get some WWs in the chat for Dan. Awesome, my friend. Thank you for that donation through PayPal. Awesome. Yeah, Justin, the nick of time, buddy, because I I was debating upon whether or not to go collect cans on the way back home to try and to the way back to the campsite to try to get a soda on the way back. Thank you, buddy. Thank you so much, Dan. That's just awesome, my friend. Thank you. That's just awesome, buddy. You guys just never cease to amaze me, my friends. Yeah, our community is so supportive, and I just let's see. Tim says, "Poor job." Let's see. Dakota says, "Way to go." Heather says, "Coffee money." Yep, coffee and soda. Get with the WWs. I'm on. I actually, it's very hard for me, Tim. I have schizophrenia, so I'm on some very powerful medications that help keep the voices down in my head, which I know that people don't understand about that stuff. It does affect my short-term memory, I'm afraid, which makes it almost impossible. I got fired from McDonald's like 3 years ago. Seriously. Now I do get a Social Security disability, but unfortunately, it's not a lot of money. They expect me to work uh, quite a bit, and it's hard. It really is. I mean, it's hard to go into work when you're starting to do something, and all of a sudden you're on the other side of the parking lot or on the other side of the store, kind of trying to remember what you were doing. That olanzapine is one of olanzapine and hydroxidone. They're two medications I take for schizophrenia, and they work incredibly well, and they do their job, and I haven't had a breakout in 12 years. But yeah, they do definitely affect your short-term memory, I'm afraid. I don't mind talking about it either on live feed. I have schizophrenia. I'm not a schizophrenic. Oh, it's more Heather's doing? Oh, it's more Heather's doing. Oh, okay. Thank you, Heather. Again, thank you, Heather. It's vinyl corn. Uh-oh. What is he? I think I got one run through my line. I got a big old gar on my line. I don't have this fish hooked, folks. I don't have him hooked. He's stuck in my line. And when I try to lift him, he's going to break. Yeah, I don't have him hooked, but we got him anyways. This gar got stuck in my line. That counts, folks. We caught him. Ah. Yeah, this gar got stuck in my line. Gail, we caught a gar. Awesome. Now I just got to get the little hook out of this sucker. He is wrapped up something fierce here. Yeah, we got him loop knotted around the mouth. Yeah, that's a long nose. See how long the snout is on that? Look how long that's a long nose gar. Man, this is going to be tricky, folks. He's got his mouth clamped shut because the line is wrapped all around it. I really don't want to do this, folks. This is like so dangerous. If he snaps at me, I'm in trouble. Let me just put that right there so I can get him in here and keep his mouth open. You don't like that. Oop, yep, you don't like that. Ow. All right, tell you what, folks, I'm just gonna have to re-rig this. There is no way I'm just gonna break this off. I don't even have him hooked. I'm just gonna snap that line and have to retie that one spot. And we had him just perfectly, and now he's all yucky. Dadgummit, fishy. Sheesh. Yeah, we had this fish perfectly, folks, and he had to get all yucky. So that actually might be a spot. No, that's a long nose. I'm gonna have to look this up. This is either a long nose or a spot, because look at the spots in the back of that tail, folks. Look at those distinctive black and yellow spots. Awesome fish, folks. Gotta love it, my friends. And he whipped that tail several times. That ain't his blood, folks. That's mine. I love it. Yeah, look at this guy. Man, that is a mean little stinker. Look how long that nose is compared to the other ones. Yeah, so he'll get that prey in the tip of that, and he'll drag him down and to a watery grave. I love it, my friends. Look at them teeth. Look at them guys. Sheesh. Gotta love it. Oh, big rod. Sorry, folks. Fish on. Yikes. That's a big one. That hit worm. That was on a big rod. Let's see if we can bank this, whatever it is. Grassy. Big grass carp, folks. Oh, yeah, that'll go 10, 15 pounds. Easy. Yeah, that's one of our river monsters. Man, that sucker, that's going to be a heck of a lot. And I've got a big old spray spot right on the tip of my line there. I see it. Hope that doesn't bite us in the butt here in a minute. Yeah, that's a big one, folks. Right in the middle of showing that big gar off. Oh, yeah, that's a big one, folks. Yeah, that's a solid 15. Yeah, he just doubled that night crawler there. Just absolutely pounded it. Yep, yeah, all right. You wanted it. Here comes the shoes and socks off. La 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 la. And there go most of our worms out of our bucket too. Shoot. Now one got out. Ain't got a lot left, I'm afraid. Yeah, I had to go for that rod, so that's what happens, folks. Yep, here comes the shoes and socks off. Why do I do this, folks? Well, oh, yeah, because I'm getting paid. Yeah, all right, never mind. And this is fun, too. It's fun. Ooh, that water's. That gummit. Man, what if someone turn the ice box on in this water? Man, this stuff's cold. Sheesh. My nibblies are freezing. Just a big one, folks. Oh, yeah, solid 15. Yeah, that's about as shallow as I can get her, too, folks. I'm going to have to wrestle her in. Oh, yeah, oh, man, that's probably go 20. Yeah, I'm really underestimating this fish, folks. That is a thick grass carp. That's a foot thick. That's one of our 4-footers, so that's probably about 20. Seriously? That's my tablet. I mean, I'm already in the water. You got to wet my stuff down too, fish? Oh, man. This mean old grassy. Better watch this sucker. Come here, big girl. Whoa, there she goes. Man, she did not like that. Woohoo! Oh, man, that soaked the shoreline down, didn't it? Oh, man. That's why I might as well get in the water, because I know I'm going to get wet anyways. Yeah, remember I said these guys like to take off like steelhead. They'll all of a sudden just get a burst of energy and, man, these guys can fight, folks. They're just like fighting something that was fighting real big and fighting and if I can get this other rod in. All right, other rod's back in. So, yeah, that's our Ozark Trail rod, folks. I don't mind banging that one up. It ain't gonna last 6 months anyways. Yeah, those little $10 combos, they don't last forever. Come here, big girl. Yep, she sees me. Every time she sees me, yep, see that? Every time she sees me, she's like, nope, I'm done. I want back out deep, Mikey. Mr. MVP, I want back out. Yeah, that's what happened. And this fish is getting these hooks deeper in their throats. And their throats don't have a lot of... All right, I touched it, folks. It counts. La, la, la. Around and around and around we go. Where she stops. Oh, man, this is fun, folks. And this is 20-pound test, folks. So I'm not playing with this fish. If you had a big old saltwater net, be lucky if you could get this sucker in here. These are like brutes and a half. And there are thousands upon thousands of these guys down here. Had her in a belly hole once. Oh, ow, that was my knee, fishy. That hurt. Oh, do we have them yet, folks? I'm not sure. Man, I'm going to lose 20 years on my life here. Use like 9 out of 10 of my lives doing this, folks. All right, do we got them, folks? I think we got them. Yeah, that's a 20, folks. That's a 20. I'm trying to pin her down, but she don't want to. All right, hook is out, folks. Hook is out. All right, let's get her a little cleaned off here, and we'll... Yeah, she's not done yet. She is not. She's got a little bit of energy left in her. Yeah, that's a 20. Easy. There we go, folks. Yeah, that's an easy 20. Imagine a common carp about this big, because that's the other one I think I had. Because this one took one run and turned right back at us. That other fish took off and never stopped. Gotta love it, my friends. Yeah, I just looked over after that gar we caught, and I saw that big rod going over the stick. Like, Mike, aren't you gonna grab the rod? Can someone else grab it? My hands are a little busy at the moment. Gotta love it. Man, that is one big old grassy, folks. Yeah, that's a good 20. No question, that's in the 20s. She won't go 30, probably 22, but we'll leave her 20 just so everyone's happy. Gotta love it. There we are, folks. There's your close-up, Mr. DeBill. Gotta love it. Man, that is a monster of a fish, folks. And you guys wonder why I fish down in this spot so much. Gotta love it. All right, girl. Let's get you back in the water. Ah. All right. Thank you. There she goes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Nope, not gonna need a bath tonight. Yep. Oh boy. All right, folks, let me get my stuff back on here. That's the only way to get them guys in. I mean, I literally have broken like last year I broke one like regular size net, and then a donation from someone. I believe that was Johan that donated to get a big saltwater net that cost $50, and that thing lasted like 3 months, and it still didn't make it, folks. Just give me a minute here, folks. I gotta get back all my stuff on. Yeah, there's a lot of rocks down here, so when I'm down on the rocks, folks, I tend to wear 2 pairs of socks. Kind of cushions your feet to the blows of those rocks. Not 100%, but it's definitely better than nothing. And I was sitting on my shoe so I didn't get my butt wet. Not that it's not already wet. I mean, it's already freaking probably. What were we doing? All right, let me. And what is this? We're off my own feed there. I hate it when it does that. All right, let's do it again. All right, let's get back into get these rods out, and I'll get back into chat. So now we've caught. Let's see, 2 freshwater drum, 2 channel catfish, a gar, and a monster grass carp. Not bad with a 2 dozen garden night crawlers and a can of corn. Never say MBP don't put on a show. Well, you can say it. It's just I don't think it's true. Oh boy, not bad for a man my age. Not bad at all. Yeah, be my 59th birthday, August 31st, folks. Yep, I'm going on that big 6-0. And that was a terrible cast. We got sand in our reel from that fight, so obviously she's not gonna do great for a cast or two. That's better. She woke up a little bit. She ain't got to be too far out. And I forgot I have to re-rig this, and with all that commotion, I didn't even. Boy. Well, assuming I can find where I left the equipment to this, because when I had to break that line off, I don't know where the heck everything was dropped. Plus, I only got one decently halfway good eye. The other one I can't see very good out of. Oh boy, that one's gonna take a little bit. I got to figure out where I dropped that sucker. Well, that's okay. We can get 2 out of 3 rods back out. There's a bite on worm. You wonder why all those little drum and stuff stopped. That because that big grassy was in there bugging them. Remember we got all those smaller ones, and all of a sudden we got that bigger one? Because those smaller ones attracted the bigger one, and that bigger one, he wouldn't let the smaller ones hit. And I see her pecking on it. I see him. Got him, folks. Fish on. We got him. What do we got? a baby drum. So that's our third freshwater drum. So 3 freshwater drum, 2 channel catfish, and a gar. And there goes my stick in the water. Oh well, I'll get that in a minute. Awesome, folks. They just keep on coming as fast as I can keep the rods out. Incredible, my friends. That's bait size. I don't know. I might do a live stream later on. I might not, but it seems to be easy enough to be able to catch bait today. So that's a little like quarter pounder, but that is perfect bait size. I love it, my friends. Gotta love it. Woo, man, this is fun, folks. Trying to keep up with these guys when they're hitting like this. Beautiful. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I gotta put our stick back in the water. I gotta find our. But first, I'm just gonna get 2 rods out so that we've got our 2 main rods back out at least. And I can get into that chat because I know I haven't talked to you guys in a plug minute. That was me bouncing on that one, so no worries about it. Oh, that was loud. And I just dropped a barrel the size of, a rock the size of a freaking coffee table in one of them barges over there. Boom. Good cast as well. And I did not, I was trying to do this one. I looked over and that was getting pecked on, so I had to kind of flip that one out without looking at it. So I want to redo this one real quick. I want this right about in there. Yeah, so we got 2 rods out, folks. I have to get this other one rigged back up because that gar, he had her tangled up, and there was no way I was going to get that off without. Yeah, it was tied in like 5 knots around an area that had some pretty gnarly teeth, and that grass carp really messed up everything, folks. He wetted the entire shoreline down. Give me just a minute. Trying to dry off after that sucker. So that's 4 drum, 2 channel catfish, a gar, and a big grass carp. Find another bite. I can't even get into chat, folks. I kid you not, guys. I cannot even get into chat. Every time I look over, a rod's going in. See 49 incredible people in and 68 thumbs up. 69. Awesome. 69. All right, let me see. Yeah, our totals so far are 4 drum, 2 channel catfish, 1 gar, and 1 grass carp. So whoever gets that first here, I'm gonna put that in chat. I'll pin that. Let's see Victoria. How you doing, Victoria? Victoria says, "Hey, MVP." And Bambi, how you doing today, Bambi? Bambi says, "Good one." Bambi with the laughing. That's as far back as I can go in the chat, my friends. I'm so sorry. And Heather with the coin. Thank you for that gem, my friend. Yeah, that's as far back in chat as it'll let me go, folks. Man, you guys have been rolling. Bambi says, "Woo." Bambi says, "Good one." Virginia says, "Hey, MVP and friends." And Gail says, "Hello, Miss Possum." Virginia Possum says, "Hey, Gail." Bonnie says, "Time for the foot soak." Let's see. Dakota says, "Gonna blind the fish with them bright white piddle." Oh boy. Oh, fish on, folks. Yikes. Another one. Another grassy. Man, I tell you what, folks. I was right in the middle of that chat. That's one of our teenagers. Yeah, that's a like solid 8 or 10 pounder. He's just really lightly pecking on it. And I figured, what the heck? Must be a little fish. I'll set the hook. Ah! Really, folks, if you look on that live feed, that peck rod was just doing this. Really lightly pecking. I was like, oh, must be one of them little fishies again. Again, that's on worm. I can't keep the rods out right now, folks. I can't do it. They won't let me do it. Yeah, that's a 10. Oh, yeah, that's an easy 10. I can't do it. Uh, Come here, big girl. We're trying to get her in here so she'll do her thrashing thing and be done. Oh, popped out. Ah! I have my hands around it. Does it count? Probably not. Yeah, I think the hook. Yep, the hook just popped out, folks. No worries. I had my hands around the back of the tail, but that fish wasn't giving up yet. La 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 la. Yeah, I have my hands around that one, folks. Man, I just cleaned this screen off. Man. Virginia says, hey, Dan. MB says, hey, Pap, guys. It's nice to see you and woo. Man, I had that one right. I had my hands around it. There was just no way that time that fish wasn't giving up yet. Let's see, Bonnie says bubble bath time. It's Don Woo. Donnie's laughing. Dan says, gotta love them river missiles. Let's see, Heather says, beautiful fish. Thank you, Heather. Let's see, Dan, how you doing, Dan Hill? Dan Cahill says hi. Bambi says he's going to put him out there skiing, exactly make a chance of line breaks. Makes no sense to me. Bambi says no fish hugs yet. I think I had a couple on that one. Bambi says, what a fish, woo! Kid says, that's a fish. Let's see, Yale says, big one, Grassy. Let's see, and Joe. Joe says, that's a monster. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you coming in and dropping by. Cuz says, beautiful carp, great catch, Mike. Thank you, Cuz. Dan says, that's a good one, 20 easy. Kevin says, nice catch, the biggest one I caught on a night crawler was around 30. Yep, they get big, my friends. I need to get these rod, at least one rod back. Now that just popped out, folks. So I was kind of pushing that just a little bit too hard. I should have let her tire herself out a little bit more, but I knew you guys needed me in chat, so I figured I'd try to get her in a little harder. But I got my arms around that one. I grabbed her by the tail. She just like, MVP, you must be crazy. You think you gonna hold me? You just gonna get wet. And yeah, I got wet. Yep, I got wet. Quite a bit wet, in fact. That was another like 10 pounder, folks. Now there's everything out here right now. There is. All right, rods back out. Now we've got a big our two main rods back out. 37 credible people in and 71 thumbs up. Okay, so the count so far. Boy, this one is going to be tricky. Let's see. Dakota says that has a goat at least 25. Yeah, I usually go lower than they actually are to keep people happy because you know they ain't that big, right? So, and Steve, how you doing today? Steve says it's a friggin' tuna. Yeah, getting there. Bambi says I definitely don't wonder. Uh, just there have caught so many monsters. Bonnie says, Mike's our comedian fisherman. I try. I try. Let's see, Zachary, you still haven't got it quite right yet, but thank you for dropping by, my friend. So the totals right now are 4 freshwater drum, 2 channel catfish. Uh, I'm not gonna count that one, I guess. So I didn't get it in, but I did touch it. So uh, what was it? 4 freshwater drum, 2 channel catfish, 1 grass carp, and 1 gar. Well, it's my screen is still mucked up, folks. Let's see, Naren, how you doing today, Naren? Naren says hi. Tim says I caught a spotted bass, 1.83 pounds. Nice. You're getting there, Zach. Let's see, Bambi says don't forget to double tap that screen. Huge fish with MVP. Mighty Mississippi. Thank you, Bambi. Gary says, and the troll. He's not so bad. Another bite. Well, I'm too far away from the rod. I should have been closer to the rod, folks. I was a little bit too far away. Dang it. I'm a little winded, Bambi says, nice, Tim. Bambi says, hi, Nevada, and welcome. Oh, got him, folks. Got him. Pull off again. Dang it. What's up with this rubber hooks again? Did someone sneak in a rubber hook on me again? They know they gonna rubber hooks. That hook is sharp, folks. See it sticking to the tip of my finger? They gonna rubber hooks. Yeah, that wasn't nearly as big as our last one. I think I had another channel cat on. And man, this barge is making traffic, folks. We might be getting back here in just a minute because this sucker's moving. That thing's doing 30 miles per hour upriver. And she ain't that far away, in fact. She's slowing the current down up here. She's moving so fast. Let me get a better cast than that. I know this is not going to do much, folks, because with the way this barge is coming, in a minute, she's just going to wash all our lines back in. But actually, we might be in luck. Okay, so that barge is turning. Yeah, that's picking up rock and gravel. Okay, that's the reason why she was picking up speed. She's making a U-turn and going over there to pick up gravel and stuff instead of corn and grain. Okay, I understand now. MB says hi, Nevada, and welcome. MB says hi, Gary. And you too, and thank you. Tim says good job, buddy. MB says Steve, Kim, let's go. MB says woo. Let's see, Dan says cut bait, Mike. Man. Oh, yeah, you mean that drum. Yeah, totally. I should have kept her. That's okay. Let's see, 2 channel catfish, 3 freshwater drum, 1 gar, 1 carp. That's pretty close. That's pretty close, my friend. I'm going to have to pin that up for you guys right now, assuming I can find that in chat. That's pretty close. It's actually two 4 freshwater drums, so you're pretty close. Let me get that in chat. Assuming I can find this, you guys are racing right now, folks. And that's okay for right now. There you go, Zach. Uh, when I find the next one, I'll replace that pin because we're actually up to 4. So 2 channel catfish, 4 freshwater drum. Everything else is fine. Let's see. Kid says with the fishy emojis. And he says, yes, sir. Tearing them up. Let's see. Byron. Byron says little baby drum. Hey, funny thing is, right beside that little baby drum, I've caught several nice channel catfish. A massive grass carp had another big grass carp up to the bank and hooked probably a big common carp that took off dang near down to that bridge and pulled off. Bambi says, man, with the fish, woo! Get with the drum. Dan says, keep them fluids up, Mike. Yep, good. Thank you for reminding me. Let me get a quick drink here. Yep, let me get a quick drink of fluids. I see 62 people in it, seeing 67 thumbs up. Because this 66. Let's go. Double tap that screen. Thank you for supporting the channel. All right, let's get this rod back out. I'm not caught up with chat, folks, but we got to keep one worm rod out. And we got corn because we are going to run out of worms, even with and then there's nothing wrong with that hook, folks. That's hooked that big grass carp, and I think that last one was either a channel catfish or another gar. Yeah, that was a long nose gar, folks. That one we caught. So just a point of phrase, we've caught 3 different species of gar down here in the past 2 weeks. Long nose, short nose, and spots. Let's see. Bambi says, "Hey Byron, Joe, and thank you for coming in today. Tearing them up as I see." Yep, we are, my friend. Let's see. I forgot to say many fish. Woo! You're fine. Let's see. Paul says, keep hitting those big ones, Mike. I'm trying, my friend. Let's see. Bambi says, dang, woo, love it. Bambi says, hi, Paul. Thumbs up, agree. Paul says, hey, Bambi. Let's see. Mama Lynn says, great fishing. Thank you, Mama Lynn. Oh, you little stinkers, man. They're tough to hook, folks. I'll set the hook once and have a pound drum, and the next time I'll set the hook and have a friggin' 20-pound grass carp. We did get one of those carp on corn. The other one was on worm. So each to his own. I guess they're not really finicky right now. They're hitting whatever. So I'm sure when we run out of worms here, we're going to start getting bites on corn as well. Yeah, that's casting good now. Got just the right amount of sand or something in it, or out of it, or I don't know. It's working better. It's working better, folks. And I lost my spot in chat. Dadgummit. Yeah, I was up right in chat here, and oh, here we are. Let's see. Paul says, "Hey, David." Let's see. Cuz says, "Chilling." And Zen, how you doing today, Zen? Zen says hi. And Paul says, "Hey, Mama Lynn." Let's see. Kevin says, "You're rolling with the fish. Awesome." Another bite. Got him, folks. Fish on. Got him. Let's see if we can keep this one pinned. Oh, another freshwater drum. Has another nice, almost pounder. Man, these guys are hitting today, folks. Can't keep the baits out. As soon as she hits the bottom, I'm getting them, folks. So that's our 5th freshwater drum. So 5 freshwater drum, a gar, 2 channel catfish, and a grass carp and a half. Grass carp and a half. Yeah, I'm mad about that one because I did have my hands around it. I'm gonna give it a half. Awesome fish, folks. Gotta love it. Just a little perturbed. Not too bad. Ow. Gotta love it. Look at the silvers on this guy. Incredible. And you remember the last time we did this, I heard something. I looked back and my green rod was going out to New Mexico. Mexico. That way. Gotta love it, my friends. Hey, yep, there's a a hug for you, folks. Gotta love it. Beautiful. Look at those silvers. All right, let's get this fish back in the water. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciated. Yeah, there he goes. Meow. Every single cast, I'm trying to get back into chat here, folks. I'm getting backed up more and more, and I ain't using but one worm. I ain't even using two. Usually, I have to use two of them to get them to hit down here. They don't care. Dadgummit MBP, send us in worms. We're hungry. There's a 50-50 chance we just gonna get dinner. Send them out here. We're not camera shy today, obviously. Kevin says, you're rolling. Mama says, love fishing channels. Well, you're in the right channel, my friend. If you like fishing, you're definitely in the right one. Let's see, Dan says, Mike's on fire today. Let's see, Zen says, very nice. Thank you, my friend. Hope you enjoy the show today. Chilling, how you doing today, Chilling? Chilling says, Paul, sir. I think I missed your first chat there. Let's see, kid with the fishing and catching emojis. Let's see, Bambi says, hey, woo, let's go. I'm never going to get caught up with chat here. Let's see, Chilling says, cuz. Let's see, Mama says, wow, nice one. Let's see, Tennessee Grassy. Gail says, Bonnie's laughing her butt off. Let's see, Bambi says, thank you for coming in and tearing them up since I've been here. You're very welcome, my friend. I enjoy doing this for you guys. And there's another bite. I saw him pecking on it, folks. I see him pecking on it. Zen says, wow. And he says, yes, sir, it counts. Yeah, I'll count that as a. Yeah, I had him up to the bank and I had my hands around her, so. All right, so we've got, we're going to count that one as 5 freshwater drum. Let's see, 2 grass carp, 2 channel catfish, and a gar. Because it says, yes, it counts. You got it, my friends. Let's count it then. Yep, quick release. I had my hands around the back of her tail, and she's like, no MVP, I'm not done. Oh, the hook is out. Bye. Dakota says, that counts. Quick release. Yep, just a rapid release. I got you, Dan. Gonna be interesting on the live feed. I thought about going in after her, but like, yeah, I ain't stopping this fish. I might be able to get my hands around her, but I ain't stopping her. Very humane release there. Let's see, Paul says, wow, that was almost, but it was a nice one and a big one. Then says, thank you so much. You're very welcome, my friend. Let's see, Bambi says, man, I don't want to leave. Ooh, what a day. Yeah, it can be down like this, folks. Like, you can be there's another bite. Ooh, that was popping on it. Ooh, come on, buddy. Man, that was a hard pop, too. There's a definite difference between the freshwater drum and the. It's very distinctive. Yep, got the bait off. Little stinker. Whoo. Yeah, we got a few worms left. Definitely enough for a number of more bites. You'd be surprised at how long 2 dozen night crawlers will last if you only use them one at a time. Usually we're using 2 and 3 worms down here, but these suckers, they don't care right now. Another worm, fishies, come and get it. It's dinner time. Ding, 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 ding. And that sucked. Yikes, that one really sucked. That's better. That's better. That was just a horrible cast. Let's see, cuz says Bambi. Let's see, John, how you doing today, Johnny Jam? Johnny Lance says, what's up, how you doing? I'm packed up in chat. We're getting bites as fast as I can cast in right now, Johnny. 2 big grass carp, 5 freshwater drum, 2 channel catfish, and a gar. Dan says, I estimate my fish the same, Mike. Yeah, just try to estimate them a little bit down, the way people aren't mad at you. And even if you got a scale, if you get them exactly right, people are going to complain. So, Mama says, still counts, Mike. Thank you, guys. Let's see, and Zen with the fishy emojis. Up, and we have a super sticker. Thank you so much, Slick. Thank you for that super sticker. Super sticker says, stay hydrated, my friend. Awesome, my friend. Let me make sure to get a thumbs up on that. Where is that? There it is. Yeah, make sure to give you a thumbs up and a heart. Thank you for that super sticker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's a $2 super sticker. Another bite. Come on. Got him, folks. Fish on. Got him. What do we got this time? Hey, another channel. Another nice channel catfish. Come here, big guy. And another nice pounder. Boy, before I can set the chat, I'm catching another fish. That's another nice pound channel catfish, folks. Boy, that is another picture-perfect channel catfish. Incredible, beautiful fish, folks. Another nice channel. Gotta love it. Man, look at those golds and bronze colors, those spots on this catfish, just incredibly beautiful. That is a cat, folks. That is a round. Ah, yep, you bit me, you little stinker. Man, these suckers, not only do they bite, they got fins. I mean, they got claws. Of course, they got fins. They're fish. Gotta love it, my friends. Beautiful. That's another one, folks. Take a look at that black on the tips of those back tails. Those spots. Incredible. Gotta love it. Yep, he wants to go, folks. He wants to go. Let me get the hook out of him and back in the water. He did his thing for YouTube. He fought his heart out. And right on the side of the jaw on you, huh? That's a weird hooking. Look at that. He's on the side of the jaw. Usually you don't get him there. Ow, dude. Watch the claws. Seriously. I'm going to declaw you, little stinker. Yeah, that hook is right on the side of the jaw. So I gotta. That is like all gristle there. Man. Alright, I think we about got it. Assuming he sits still for me. Alright, hook is out, folks. Hook is out. No muss, no fuss, no blood. Yeah, he had it right on the side of the jaw, so no worries, buddy. See you, buddy. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciated. So now we've caught 5 freshwater, 2 drum, 3 channel catfish, 2 grass carp, and a gar. Actually, I think it's 6 freshwater drum, but I'm gonna stick with 5. Yeah, we're approaching the double digits, folks. We're approaching the double digits. And with only 2 dozen night crows and a can of corn, I think we're doing pretty good. Yeah, pretty good cast as well. Let's see, Gerald. How you doing today, Gerald? Gerald says hi. And the Fisher Dude, how you doing today? Fisher Dude asked catching anything. Yeah, we're doing pretty good right now. We've caught 5 freshwater drum, 2 grass carp. Let's see, 3 channel catfish and a gar so far. We've only caught 1 small drum, and the rest of them have been pounders. And a pounding up. It says, please click that like button and subscribe to this great channel, you, Mama Lynn. I see Fishing Dude sent the good luck coin. Thank you so much, my friend. Look with the fire emojis. Fishing Dude with the star emoji. Thank you guys so much for those gems. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Slick says, how's everyone, brother? Doing pretty good now. Man, just the start of the feed was a little slow, but then she picked up fast. Bambi says, nice. Fishing and thank you and prayers. Hey, Slick, tearing them up. Woo! Bambi says, and Fisher Dude says hi. And False North, how you doing today, Jason? False North says, how the frill are you? Live, doing okay, Jason. Malin says, let's go. And Ricky Bobby, how you doing today, Ricky Bobby? Ricky Bobby says hi. He says, someone help him get the phone back. Oh boy. Let's see, Trent, how you doing today, Trent? Trent says, damn, bro. Like, yeah, behind in the comments. I know. I was caught up at one time. Bambi says, you stranger. Bambi says, hey, blessed day. I'm trying to catch up, folks. Slick says, bam. Bam says, hey, Slick. Jason says, fish on. Mama says, fish on. Fishing Dude says, nice. Ricky Bobby with the fishing emojis. Bambi says, let's go. Bambi says, hot today. Yep, it is definitely. Lynn says, nice one. Dude with the sunny emojis. And the hello emojis. Slick says, MVP. Did you get my dono? Uh, from the the super chat. Super chat. I did get that super sticker, my friend. Thank you. I get a hot up and a my friend. And I did shout that out. Let me say, Ricky, woo, that's a day. Let's see, Joey. Joey says hi. And he says, thank you, Slick. And get some WWs in the chat for Slick, my friends. Ricky says, Bambi. Hope you had a great weekend. Bambi says, Joe, for coming in and tearing them up. And the fishing count today. Slick with the fish emojis and says, imagine 2 worms. Yeah, I can't dig that many this time of the year. Early part of the year. Let's see, Dakota says definitely. Let's see, and Faye, how you doing today? Fish says tight lines from South Africa. Awesome, my friend. Let's see, 31 incredible people in. Let's see, an 87 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. So I'm backed up in chat here. I'm trying to catch up. Ricky Bobby says, I'm gonna leave for work today. be earlier than normal. All right, I got you, my friend. Good luck. Have a great day. Look, says I like fishing. Me too, my friend. When it says fish on, maybe says woo. The bite, I saw that right out the corner of my eye. When it says beautiful fish, they are. And thank you for those gems, for the happy poo. Thank you, Bob, Ricky Bobby. See with the popcorn emojis. Let's see, Bambi says, let's go. There's another, I see him. He's thinking about it. No, he let it go. Put it back down. Trying to catch up with Chad right now. Dan says, I'm restoring my bait digging equipment and loving the show, Mike. I would not blame you, buddy. There's a big difference between store bought and brand bought. Let's see. Dan says, got you. Hey, we're caught up in chat. Bambi says, FR, Dan, and woo. All right, we are finally caught up. 40 people in and 88 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yeah, that took us a while after that first grass carp, because one after another after another. All right, I needed to clean my screen off too, because that last one really messed up the chat. It's like with the fire emojis. Awesome, my friend. That's another pop on her. I think we're in for luck, folks, because these guys hitting like this, if I put some corn on this big rod, I think they're going to hit it too. And look at that. One peck, and that bait is gone. That worm is just adios, muchachos. Yeah, I haven't got my my other rod rigged back up, because that gar, remember when all this started, we caught that gar, he wrapped around our line and got snagged in our line, and I had to get that line kind of unsnagged. I had to break the line off, and I showed you guys that fish off, and that's when all this havoc ensued. All of a sudden, my big rod started to go in, and then every time I threw another rod back out, it's getting bites as fast as I can throw in. Yeah, I really need to get this one rigged back up, but I don't know where my weights and stuff went, because I had all my equipment hooked up here, and that sucker, I had it right here, and I broke that line off right here, and it's gone. So now the hook is still here, which is actually the most important thing. I could probably replace that weight. Yeah, the hook's still here. So that's actually that's the most difficult thing to replace. I want to get this one back out here with corn. If I don't want him, I see him. Got a hook in my mouth, folks. I'm trying to hold it from. Hey, you don't know what these bites are, folks. Could be a tiny fish, could be a big one. I'm gonna need another weight for this one, I'm afraid, because when I broke that line off and that all this carp and everything everything went, yeah, you know, I lost the weight. So let me get another weight out of my box. Assuming I could find one here real quick. Yeah, obviously it's about time for some new weights, folks. It is. And this will work. It's just going to take a plug minute to hook up. If I don't worm again. Stinkers. There's no way of telling until after you set the hook, so set the hook. And some real big fish hitting the surface now, all over right here. I don't know what I did, but these guys have all of a sudden just activated something fierce. Remember I said I was seeing bubbles everywhere down here today. Well, now I'm starting to see them coming up to the top again as well. Yeah, that's our last one. We're down to corn now. Yeah, I'm only using worm on one rod, folks. Like during the springtime, we got 3 rods going with 100 worms. We're going like 2 worms a piece per rod. All right, I need some weight stops. It's going to be an interesting rig up, folks. This is a different way I do this. I'm going to need at least two weight stops for this one, because I've got to make a thing for this. It's going to take a couple minutes to rig up, folks. Put that hook in the back of the rod so I don't lose her. So I'm just going to take one of these lug nuts. Instead of messing around and looking all around for everything, I'm just going to take a little lug nut right here and create a weight stop. And I just friggin' messed that up, didn't I? I put the line through there. And I'm just making a connection to this. Just big enough so that the new weight stop that I'm going to be putting on there can't slide through there, just like that. And that's going to work as a weight. I know it looks weird, folks, but it'll work. I've done this plenty of times. As long as I've got these bread wrappers, I can make a lot of different like weights and stuff. Let's see, that goes right through the hole that I made. So that's the weight. And that's connected by a plastic weight stop. So that line is not getting any friction against that metal of that lug nut. One, two, three, four, five, six. And this wasn't the one. I just don't want to dig through my box, and I just grabbed the first thing I saw. I don't want to spend forever doing this. And our final is just to create a weight stop here on the line. It's a tricky one, folks. I'm gonna have to show you this on a short feed, how to make a weight out of a lug nut, an effective weight out of a lug nut that's not gonna cut your line. Now you can try tying that on there, folks, but if you do, it's gonna cut the heck out of your line because that steel will cut right through your line. I see that just slide, and that's sliding against a plastic bread wrap. So now there's metal in the middle of that bread wrap, obviously, but there's plastic on the outside. So it's very this breaks up real fast too, folks. I mean this sucker does not last very long in the environment. And it's very natural. I mean, there are tons of lug nuts on the bottom of this river. Rusted lug nuts, rusted washers, as opposed to a brand new piece of steel or lead or whatever you're using. Man, that was a run, folks. A run and a half. Oh, I'm just trying to get these rods back out. We had so many bites there, I gave up on the other 2 rods because I couldn't keep up with them. Slowing back down now, I need to get both rods back out. And watch it pick up again. All right, that should hold pretty good. Assuming I can get that corn down that hook right. That's right. So that's just gonna float like that. It's a couple inches off that bottom. assuming this little stinker will cast after I had that big one on. And you guys know every time you catch a fish on monofilament, it's gonna make the stuff stick together. That's good. Just gonna let that sink straight down, and that's our one rod. I got to check this one out too because this one drifted all the way to frig down. The current just started ripping like heck right now. It looks like he bit the end of the worm off. Stinker. Well, we'll see if he hits it again before I put more corn. Before I put corn on this one as well. And we used 2 dozen night crawlers up there, folks. I try to only use them on one rod right now, but it still didn't help. These guys were hitting so quickly, I couldn't keep up with them. Beautiful fish. Well, I'm not sure what. There we go. Thank you for that, my friend. Let me pin that up. Well, where was that? 3 channel catfish, 5 drum, 1 garn carp. All right, you got it, my friend. Thank you. I just jumped off my own chat. Why did you do that? Here we are. Let's see. Yes, sir. Woo. Let's see. Bambi says, let's go. All right, we got all 3 rods back out. 2 with corn and final corn, folks. Fish on. What do we got? Bales clicked over. Buddy, don't do that to me. What we got? Hey, a blue cat. So another species. That's not that big, but still about a pound. That's a blue catfish, folks. You imagine these guys get over 100 pounds. Awesome fish, folks. Now, don't do it, buddy. Don't do it. Yeah, these guys have got some serious fins on the sides of them. Unlike channel, when they get this size, their fins, these guys, their fins are still bad at this size. Because they've got some razors on the sides of their fins. Hey, they're still hitting even on corn, folks. That was on corn. Yeah, that, ow, got the top of my hand. Ooh, dude, that hurt. Ah. Man, that's gonna sting. Yeah, that's about a pound blue cat, folks. Beautiful fish, folks. Yeah, you see the difference between the channel and the blue cat here. Yeah, that was on the new little rig I rigged up with the well, I hope that's not what I missed down there. That was probably a 20 or 30 pound blue cat if that was a blue. I love it, my friends. Yeah, he poked me. He didn't. So I'm not even bleeding. That's a bad one, too. Ah, gotta love it. Yeah, this is a mean little stinker here, folks. Man, yeah, he is not happy. Gotta love it. All right, buddy. See ya. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciated. I don't know what we've caught so far, folks. I've lost track. Look at him. He's in the current right there. Look at him. Go on the other direction. Go, 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 go. See you, buddy. Thank you. Wow. Man, even they won't even leave corn out here alone right now, folks. They're hitting everything. Worm, corn, the kitchen sink. Bill Dance's toupee. I'm kidding. Bill Dance doesn't have a toupee. It's a another person I was thinking about. Bill wears his just like me. He wears his baldness with pride. We wear a hat, basically. Yep. Folks, I gotta see. I think we've broken into the double digits, folks. So we caught over 10 so far today, and a lot of them been nice fish too. Some solid, solid fish. All right. So we attempted. Let's go back into chat. I just get that pinned up finally. And he says tearing him up. And he says FR Dan and woo. Slick with the fire emoji. Slick says how the weather out there. It's about 92, 93 degrees. Pretty much clear bluebird skies. That's the end. Robert, how you doing today, Robin? Robin says hi. Slick says let's go. 100 likes. Let's see. We up 26 people in. It's the end. 95 thumbs up. 90. Yep. 96. 95. We are so close, my friends. And he says fish count below. And Gator, how you doing, Colt? Colt says hi. Slick says, you still got those rubber hooks. Yep, it's very possible. Let's see what you got on the line, my friend. Slick asks. That was a blue cat. And he says, heck yeah, Slick. Don't forget to double tap that screen and fish count below. And he says, what's it's busy fishing? One rod is plenty. Gator says tonight that is. Slick says, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Gator says later, everyone. All right, thank you for dropping by, my friend. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Hey, buddy. Yeah, clean that worm off. We're gonna put corn back. We're gonna put corn on this one, folks. We are out of worms, and they're hitting worm too, so no worries about that. And that was me bouncing that rod. It's just a little trickier getting some of my heavier line because the hook is just a little bit bigger. I have to have a little bit bigger hook on these on this Mad Cat series rod because I'll bend the hooks out on the hook sets. This sucker is designed to put some force behind her. And you guys know I'm used to setting a hook with noodle rods, so I haven't gotten quite accustomed to using like a big Mad Cat series rod here. I put a little bit too much force behind her. Yeah, we're gonna go back to worm on this one as well, folks, because there's a bite on corn, that one. I saw him pecking on it. And our first train, folks. Here comes a train. That was a bite on corn. What do you do to it? Nothing. Yeah, that's a slow-moving, loud one, too. All right, we're back, folks. Back in the chat. See, Slick says Gator. See, Bambi says woo, tearing him up. Still, yes, sir, woo. Yeah, you got it, Gator. Let me pin that up for you, buddy. Gator was first, folks. On this one. There you go, Gator. Thank you, my friend. Let's see. Gator says slick. Let's see. Bambi says let's go. Woo! Don't forget double tap the screen. Bambi says, hang on, Doug. American worms. Yep. And Doug, American worms, and majority of those guys were on worms. Now we have gotten a few on corn, so we're still getting bites on corn. And it says fish had a good rest up in that heat. Now it's time. Bambi says fish count below. You got it, Bambi. Slick says enjoying the show. Awesome to hear. I really, really do appreciate hearing that, my friend. That's why as YouTubers, a lot of us guys do this to share our excitement and enjoyment of the outdoors with everyone, and with the thumbs up in the hundreds. And Mike, how you doing today, Mike? Mike asks, what river are you fishing on? This is the mighty, muddy Mississippi River down there in St. Louis, Missouri. Mike says hi. And he says, the mighty Mississippi, you got it, my friend. And he says, hi, Mike, and thank you so much for coming in. You're very welcome, Bambi. Bambi says, he's Mike too. Yep, Mike and Mike. It's twin Mikes. Yep, my full name is Michael Bernard. It's Polish, so there's a P there. That's the name of my channel, MBP Fishing. Our channel, anyways. Let's see, Bambi with a thumbs up. Bambi's laughing her butt off. Let's see, Rubber Hook. Rubber Hook says, how's the team Rubber Hooks going today, Mike? Pretty daggone good. Yeah, pretty daggone good. Six says, let's go 100 likes. 29 people in and 98 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. He says, turn a fish up today. Count below. He says, boss, the train, the train, the train. Kevin says, slow moving train, usually a lot of tankers. I live very close to the train tracks. Probably 25 daily. Yeah, there's about 8 or 10 down here. So there's not really that many go by. He Slick says, did you buy worms or dig them? I dug those myself, my friend. Usually we dig about 100 a day down here, but as the season gets longer, it becomes harder. We're down to about 2 dozen now. And the fish we caught were, half of them were on worm and half of them were on whole kernel sweet corn. And he says, I hope not. I bet when he woke up after sleeping on the ground, he remembered his age. I used to love the trains. And Doug Slick. Yep, you got it right, Bambi. Mike says, I live in Cumberland River in Kentucky. Nice, my friend. I went through Kentucky when I took my trip, south. I didn't get to fish much. The out-of-state license is kind of crazy in Kentucky. It's extremely expensive. But I heard if you live there, it's fine. It's just like in Missouri. It's actually pretty affordable if you live here. Let's see, Bambi says, cool, hardcore. He says, good fishing, I bet. 34 credible people in and seeing 98 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yeah, we keep getting backed up in chat because of how much is going on today. These guys are really hitting us up today. Hey, what's going on? Oh, crap. Yeah, doing pretty good. She was way lower than this. Yeah, that whole rock face out here was out for about 2 weeks. So it went up about 3 feet. We got a rod tip. It's not wrapped around the rod tip, folks. Got some doing okay. I lost track. Actually, in here, really shallow, all up and down the shoreline. I mean, they're just with the water coming up. Remember, I said it was lower. They're just moved in right by the bank down here, all up and down here. So wherever you can fish where you don't get snagged, fish there. If you're getting snagged, move somewhere else. Now, there's probably fish in that spot where there's snags. It's just who wants to. Hang on, folks. I got to get this off. We got our wrapped around our rod tip. I wasn't looking. I heard some people coming down. I looked behind me, and yep, this happened. Just take us a plug minute to, you know what? It'd be easier just to friggin' retie that sucker. That tied around there like 30 times that quickly, folks. So I'm not even gonna bother with it. I'm gonna retie it. I think this heat's starting to get to me too, folks. Oh yeah, you guys get to sit in the shade right over here. That's perfect. Yeah, again, folks, I wasn't minding what I was doing. I looked behind me when I was pulling the line in and wrapped around the tip. Instead of spending 20 minutes to get that off, I'm just gonna just retire. That'll only take a minute. A lot of times, if you get a tangle, folks, you could spend 20 minutes, untangling that, or just friggin' spend a minute and a half retying it. Assuming you tie it right, which I didn't tie it right. I mean, I missed the hole there. That was just a straight slip knot. That wouldn't have held. What is wrong with you? Slide, you stupid thing. All right, there we go. There's a lot of nice fish coming up to the surface, folks. Still a lot of nice ones out here. Wonder how long we've been in today, folks. I gotta go check that chat. See how long we've been in. And I've been manning these rods this entire time. That's how long this bite has lasted. Now there was like a minute or two, maybe 5 minutes there where the bite slowed down, but for the most part it's been cast, 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 cast. And I'd like to dig more worms right now, but it took me 2 hours this morning back in these trees back here to dig some. Yeah, we're getting low on worms. It is the end of the year, folks. Eventually, your garden variety, your raised ones, you just got to keep getting further and further away from your home, wherever you're staying, your home, or wherever. And eventually, it just becomes too much work to be able to find more of them. And the ground dries up eventually too, folks. All right, let's get back into chat here. Sorry about that, folks. We got our line wrapped around the tip there. And he says, "Cool, hardcore." Let's see, we got a fish dude. How you doing? We got a fish dude. We got a fish dude says hi. Let's see, fishing dude says hello, everybody. And he says, hey, we got it, and thank you for coming in. And fish count below. And he says hi. Let's see, we got a fish dude says with the thumbs up. And he says, yeah, tearing him up. Oh yeah, we broken 100 barrier, folks. 38 people in and 101 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. I do appreciate that. Let's see. Bambi says, let's go. 100 likes. Thank you so much. Bambi says, look sick almost. Thumbs up almost there. Oh, yeah, this is a beautiful river. One of my favorite spots to fish. There's always something down here that wants to eat. As long as you give them something they want to eat. Natural baits work really good down here, folks. If you wanted to find like roadkill would probably work good down here. Now hot dogs, nah, not so much. Spam is kind of one of those things where actually spam works pretty good because it's kind of one of those mystery meats. It's got everything in it. Let's see, Bambi says, woo! Man. Heather says, just got my son to like. Thank you. And thanks your son for me, Heather. It says 100, let's go. Heather with the party emojis. Bambi says you're awesome. Slick with the sunglasses emojis. That's an interesting one. Let's see, Bambi says, woo. Let's see, Slick with 100 likes. Bambi says, always. I always get it wrong. You're fine, Bambi. Let's see, Dan says, you deserve success with this channel and Mike, and prayers. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. I put the effort in. No one says MVP don't put on a show, folks. Let's see, Bambi says, thank you for your supporting MVP Fishing. Let's see. Boy, that's an interesting one. Makita, how you doing, Makita? Makita says, I'm from South Africa. Yes, Sam, I'm also at Fisherman, and that's my favorite sport. Well, you're in the right channel, my friend. We get some monsters down here. We already landed one 20-pound grass carp. Had another 10-pound one up to the bank. Had him in a pretty good hole. Got away. Some big gar, some big channel catfish, blue, and a whole bunch of freshwater drum. Let's see, and Clippin. How you doing today, Clippin? Clippin says, any fish today, bud? Yeah, we're doing pretty good. Another big one just hit the surface right there. And they're everywhere. There's one over there. There's one over... Yeah, they're just everywhere, folks. And he says, all right, Africa. Wow. Fish count down below. And he says, right, Clippin. Clippin says, y'all make sure and smash that like screen. Slick says, I'm from Cali. Nice. We're down on the mighty, muddy Mississippi in St. Louis, Missouri. Kevin says, great fishing channel. Plenty of species. And many of them. I try to put on the best show I can. Try to be a pretty good entertainer. Let's see, Bambi says she's from California. All right, folks. I have to set my butt down in the shade for a minute. It's pretty close. I have to see how long we've been in first. I think we've been over 2 hours. So that's usually the time I can man these rods. Oh yeah, almost 3 hours. So 2 hours and 43 minutes of nonstop bites. Sheesh. No wonder my legs hurt. Oh man. That's 3 hours I had to run down here. I usually only sit there for 2 hours. I sat there 3 hours straight like that. Just bam, bam, fish after fish after fish. Sheesh. I gotta sit down a minute, folks. Yeah, I'm wearing a mic feed so everyone can hear me no matter where I go. Yeah, 8,000 subs and growing every day. That's why I tell everyone this is our channel, because without them, I wouldn't be here. Well, I'd be fishing, I just wouldn't be filming. Hey, honestly, the less weight, the better, buddies. I mean, I'm like using, I'm out of small weight, so I'm using lug nuts. like one little friggin' lug nut. Well, I'm just barely holding on the bottom. I mean, it's just barely, because I'm fishing right by the bank. You know how deep it is here? I mean, a 20-pound flathead can come into this deep of water, and it's way deeper than that. You go 5 feet and you go damn near over your head here. Oh, sorry about the. Supposed to say dang it. Sorry. It slips out every once in a while. My button sticks. So sorry, folks. Let's see, 21 incredible people and 106 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. He had the last trip before. This was a night fishing. I tore him up then too. Oh yeah, I was down here night fishing the other night, like 7 or 8 big blue cats on just cut drum. Yeah, I was using bigger weights for them. Yeah, some big blues. I mean, some nice big blue cats. You know those little silverfish that you're taking home, and those. Yeah, you get them like a half pound or about that size. Just cut them up. They work really, really good. Let's see. Flathead says, "I love flatheads." Me too, my friend. We haven't caught one in about 2 weeks. Yeah, a lot of channels and blue cats recently. The last flathead we caught was actually right here, uh, right to our right, but with a bigger weight. Let's see. Slick says, "I was here for the last camp out. Yeah, I've been camping out every day, all night." So, and he says, "All right, I'm flathead, and thank you for coming in and fish count below." But it says, "Oh, I like it and I subscribe. Awesome, my friend. I hope you're going to enjoy the content." Yeah, you might want to check out. I got a 50-pounder down here last season around this time. No, the water was much lower last year. That was on, I think, 10-pound test on one of my little bait casters. That was right before evening. Uh, I couldn't even get that fish up off the ground. I dragged her up and just kind of held her onto the camera. Yeah, that's on a live feed. I think it's late night feed or evening, something like that. Late night or evening. Let's see, Randall, how you doing? Randall says, "Flat we weren't. How you stood?" Uh, okay. Let's see, Flathead says, "Thanks, Bambi." Slick says, "Flatheads." Let's see, Randy says, "Weren't sure." Bambi says, "Hey, Randall, you too, and thank you." Flathead says, "I lost a big one this year. Bull. A rotten braid. I got you. I think the biggest I've gotten down here is about 20 pounds this year. Now, a lot of 8 and 10s. In the spring, we had a lot of 3, 4s, and 5 pounders because I usually fish like closer to the bank, so you get a lot of those smaller ones. They're fun. They're fun size. They're still fun. You can't see me on the side of the feed, can you? Yeah, I'm just checking. Trust me, folks, I'm not far away from the rods. We've almost lost one once today. Let's see. Slick says flathead. Let's see. Doug says, "I remember that fish, Mike." Hey, see? Oh yeah, that big flatty. Man, yeah, that was all over YouTube. Because it wasn't just the size of the flathead, it was the light line I was using. But it says nice. MB says, "Hey user, and thank you for coming in and tearing them up. Fish count below." MB says, "So many big fish. Right, Doug?" Hey, I put on a show for you guys. I try to make it entertaining. He flatted says, "The biggest I've got this year is like 5 pounds. But I've been chasing walleye and doing okay. That's awesome. We don't get many walleye. I think I've caught like 5 walleye down here this year. More sauger, and that's always in the spring. Now, once the water starts getting warmer, you never see them down here in this part of the river. You have to go either up or down river to find more. Doug says, Bambi. That's an understatement. And a thumbs up. 26 people in and 109 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Let me refresh these rods. That current ripped there for a minute, so we floated down a bit. I gotta refresh them. And that looks okay. I mean, that corn's pretty intact. Which reminds me, I gotta do this. Because this current, with this stuff working like this, I gotta set this stuff up properly. I gotta cast each rod in individually and cast them out together. That way they hold together. And that corn's cleaned on this one. I didn't even see a bite on that. That corn's gone. Yeah, I used up 2 dozen worms. I'm down to corn now, and they're still hitting it. So I used 2 dozen worms up. I'm down to corn, and they're still hitting it. You guys got the comfortable spot. I'll trade you. Never. I don't won't. I'll sit out here in the shade for sun for a little bit longer. Dang it, give me a break. Yeah, the sun is definitely getting to me, folks. The sun and the fish and some. At least it's not, you know, sweating down my eyeballs stuff. I mean, that's bad when you start getting sweat so bad you can't see. All right. That was probably a fish on that one. I just didn't get to. I didn't even see the bite, folks. Really, I didn't see a bite on it. I didn't. That slides just like a regular slip sinker. Terrible cast. Terrible, terrible, terrible. That's a little better. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I sure did. I didn't think we were in for that quick, that long, folks. I thought we were maybe 2 hours. Man, I did it 3 hours there, that quick. That's how you know you're getting bites and you're catching fish when that time goes that quickly. And thank you for coming in and tearing them up. Let's see, Flathead, and where am I in chat here? Let's see, earlier in the summer, I was eating a lot of smaller upstate New York, 2 hours south of Montreal. They were just lots of fun. Yeah, they're definitely fun. Heck, every once in a while, I'll get them to start hitting artificials down here. Those little 2-3 pounders. They're fun. Kevin's, and let's see. Burnham says, "Hey, Mike, this is Dave, the guys that took a pic with you down on the river. How's everyone going with you? Oh, hi. How you doing, my friend? Doing okay. Fish are hitting pretty good. Bambi says for sure. Carrying him up, Dave. Heather says 110 likes. Incredible, my friends. I'm just waiting for the shade. And we about made it to the shady spot, folks. Yeah, my dumb butt always gives up the spot right around when it becomes most comfortable. That's okay. We'll have some more anglers move in down here right when I'm done, and the fishing fun will continue with someone else. But it says I will be where you are if I could right beside you, bro. And I would enjoy the uh, the company, my friend. I take out a number of people that I met on YouTube. Jason the Mason, I met on YouTube. I also met Ord Outdoors, Steven. Anyone that wants to come down and fish with me, I'm more than welcome to share the river and the experience with you guys. I don't mind. In fact, I have a number of people that saw on the chat that just uh who's that kid? Oh, googly I can't remember his name. My brain's fried in the sun. But there were two other younger teenagers, 16 and 18. They started fishing down here as well. And he says, I hear quite a few people talking about fishing in New York. So cool. Oh, you all come together. How you all come together? Oh, I got you. Bambi says, right slick. Heck yeah, Heather. Awesome job, guys. Slick says, Bam, you from Cal. Kevin says, NYS has half the freshwater in the lower 48. I'm in the Adirondack, Mintus, near Canada. Well, he's near Canada, so let's see. Bambi says, no, I'm in Florida. And prayers. But it says, instead, I'm at home with 200 pounds of pit bulls. Wow. Let's see. Bambi says, makes sense. Bambi says, whoa. This fit awesome. And Cat, how you doing today, Cat? Cat says hello. And Kevin says, I catch a lot of smallies on the Go Phoebes and Panther Martins. Oh, yeah, Panther Martins are really good. I do love those. I also like the Rooster Tails. The Panther Martins are a good one because they've got the inward blade rather than the spinning blade. That's it just seems to spin. Now, if you want a really good flash, uh, Rooster Tails are probably your best bet. Now, Panther Martins are really good more for vibration. They put out a little bit more pulse in the water, so that they'll draw some fish to you. Slick says, that's worst LOL. Have family. Live in Dakota. Cat says hi, Slick. Cat says hi, Kevin. MB says, hey, Cat, and thank you for coming in. MB says, nice, Kev. Doug says, Cat. Cat says, hi, Doug. Doug says, was the fish down on the right? Was that a fish down on the right? Very much, very extremely possible, probably. In fact, we've been seeing some big ones busting the surface left and right down here. That's one of the best things about my live feeds. You can sit down here and watch the big ones just rolling after I've caught a few of them. They start getting a little bit of a what's going on? Is MVP out again? Yep, MVP's out again. He'll let you go, but you better not be my camera shot because he'll show you off on YouTube. Dan says, it would be an honor to fish alongside you, sir. Bit of a flight and costly. Yeah, I've been meaning to go all over the place, fish with some of my friends on YouTube, but again, it's the same thing. Bus rides are just so long and so many, what do you call them? Long, langover, pullovers, whatever, like changes. And yeah, plane rides are just going to cost a fortune nowadays. Kat says, I'm doing good. Awesome to hear. Heather says, True Dan, you wouldn't have to you would have to take me too. And he says, you have arms out constantly, trying to keep him from falling. Actually, you'd be the one probably falling. You're like, MBP, how you stand up down here? I know you fall with style. I just fall. When he takes off her fish. Cat says hi, Dan. Cat says hi, Heather. Heather says hey, Cat. Dan says Cat. Cat says Ban in Florida. You're basically can fish anywhere. And he says, "Yep, water's all around you and in the middle." Dan says, "You know that, Heather." Blake says, "Cat," and a thumbs up. The 38 incredible people in and 112 thumbs up. As another one hit the surface. Those are all like 3-4 pound gar out there. Lined up so you can catch him, MVP. Hey, that's the way I like it. That's the way. I like it. Uh huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, I like it when they line up. Oh, look at that. Big old, big old grass carp right by the bank, folks. I mean, seriously, within a few feet of the shoreline. Actually, that almost looked like a buffalo. Man, that was like one of those little baby buffalo I hook down here sometimes. He snuck in here and into the shallows to grab some of that corn I dropped. And he's just sitting in here right by the bank. I mean, that wasn't but a few feet from the shoreline. It was like right about there. Remember, folks, me waiting out here, just getting that grass carp like a few feet from the bank, I was up to my knees. So that just goes to show you how deep it is out here. I forgot I got to loosen my weight stop just a little so I can slide it up. I want that further off the bottom, and that's a buffalo. I know buffalo feed on the bottom, but they like coming right off the bottom to get a bait. So put that a little further off the bottom for them. All right, that's back out. And we tore them up there for a while, folks, and yeah, something's been chewing on it again. Yeah, they're hitting this jig head, folks. I can't. I haven't seen them hit. Eventually, they're going to grab it and just get the hook into them. And you know what happens when that happens? Michael go, my rod! Wait, come back here! I need you. I tell you what, I'm going to cast this one even closer because that one man, that dropped a kernel of corn. That one fell off right by the bank when I pulled it in. No worries. That's why we got a can of corn rather than a handful of corn. We're just gonna flip this in. That other rod is just in the dang way. I want it right there. I'm gonna have to reel this one in because this one's in the way. Should probably refresh this corn too while I'm at it. Put a couple fresh kernels on the bottom. corn, it does work, folks, but it also loses its scent quickly. So as opposed to worm, you keep out there 20, 30 minutes, and if they're not hitting that quickly, they're still going to find the bait. Corn, every 8 or 10 minutes, you gotta refresh that stuff because it'll lose its scent. This stuff's pretty well cooked. Come on, line. I hate it when it does that. I jiggle it, and there's nothing wrong with it at its tip. I take a cast, and then it wraps around the tip. That's better. That's a much better cast. That should hold. Come on, one more big one on for you guys. I need one more biggin. Come here, biggins. Tell you what, as good as this is right now, folks, I might do another live stream later on. As good as they're hitting. And I'm sure my battery extender's about dead, so I'm gonna have to go back to the gas station and recharge that. Look, says the fish is just right at the catch MVP. Let's see, Bambi says you're probably right. Let's see, Six says before the boogeyman goes to sleep, he checks under the bed for slick. Bambi's laughing her butt off. Look, says bam, I see people be fishing in the canals over there in Florida. Oh yeah, they catch some interesting species of fish down there. Get a lot of things down there. And he says, yep, everyone ditches retention ponds everywhere. And let's see, Rumpelstiltskin. How you doing today, Rumpelstiltskin? Rumpelstiltskin says hello, MVP. How you doing today, my friend? Let's see, Bambi says, not me. And those freshwater canals, usually best fishing because they run through uh, white state swamps. Noticed. Yep, our mic feed is dead. I'm not sure how much of the chat I missed there. But how you doing, Rumpel? Thanks for coming in. I hope you enjoy the show today. Our mic is dying, so unfortunately I will be going behind you guys instead of over here close to the rod, which means the big a very good opportunity of pulling my rod. Tell you what, let me give you guys action. Give them a little bit more munching. Here, please. Here, please. Here you go, buddy. Come in, hit my face. Sorry about the stuff there, folks. I don't like even showing the lighter on feed. I like doing it. Let's see, 20 incredible people on it, 121 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Bambi says, hey Zay, I fish count below. This Rumpelstiltskin says, Bambi, I don't fish, unfortunately. Only time I tried, the only thing I caught was a cold. Went out the wrong time of the year, buddy. And there are a number of trips where I've caught them yucky old colds as well, so you're definitely not mistaken there. Also says, which says, bam. Don't you go to the iCast? Bonnie says, I went fishing Saturday at the pond. Awesome, Bonnie. Did you catch anything, my friend? See, Kevin says, ice fishing is my favorite. Me too. Well, ice fishing is my favorite winter fishing. Now, that's just because when it freezes over, the rainbow trout are real easy to catch. You basically just dig a hole in the ice if it ever freezes enough, and they come right up to you. Bonnie says, yes, 3 bass and 4 crappie. Nice, Bonnie. Uncle says, how long have you guys been fishing? 3 hours and 10 minutes. $28 people in and 115 thumbs up. Awesome, folks. Yeah, we went through 2 dozen night crawlers, and now we're down to just corn. Yeah, sorry about the noise, folks, but there is a gravel pit across the river here, so that's where they dig up the gravel and everything for roads and making concrete and all that other stuff. Let's see. Bonnie says, was there for 2 hours. Yeah, for about the first half hour, I was trying to get the first, really key in on the pattern, what they wanted me to do. And after I figured it out, man, it was just nonstop there for the remainder 2 and 0. There's a big one over to the right. Man, that was a blue. That was most assuredly a blue cat. I saw the back of that tail. That's about 20 pounds. Way out of my casting range, though. Bambi says, that's okay, Zay. Fish with us. You don't have to touch anything. You can if you want. Just don't tell us about it. If you're... Bambi says, good enough, and thank you. And Sleepy, well, blessing. And, sleep well, blessing. The Rumpel says, Bambi, I wish I could join you guys. But I'm in a faraway land in India. No worries, my friend. That's the magic of YouTube. That's why I try to set up my live feed so you're right here down on the river with me. Get the kind of shoreline. You can almost feel the mist of the river on your face. Hear those harvest flies in the background? Barges, the trains. He says, I even had a game warden with 2 while fishing. I've gotten checked twice by the game warden this year. Both times rainbow trout fishing. He says, that's why we come together here in Florida. Pat Mike on the mighty Mississippi. And that's why I come into everyone's chat. It's like we're fishing all around the world with everyone. And we've all got our own little styles, our own little... But I like to share, as much of the outdoors and the background and everything as I can with you guys. Hope we have one chat here. I see Metal. How you doing, Metal? Med. How you doing, Med? Med says hi. Oh, that was Metal. My bad. And Cindy, how you doing? Skip check, Cindy. Cindy's in the house. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Hi. Cindy says hi, all. Bambi says hi, everyone, and thank you for coming in. Bonnie says me too. Once is spring and it's Saturday. Let's see. Rumpel says Florida. The marsh poppy. Are you going live feed, by the way, Cindy? Once this spring and Saturday. Rumpel says Florida. The marsh puppy. The marsh puppy country. That I know. Izzy, how you doing today, Izzy? He says, if I was there, I'd say that man let me handle some of that bait, and I'd catch us a 100-pound blue cat. Oh, there are some big blues in here. Now I haven't broken the 100 barrier in blue cats. My biggest is just over 80 pounds. Let's see, Bambi says, "Skip Jeff Cindy, such a privilege, and thank you." Bambi says hi, Izzy. Izzy says Bambi. And he says hi, Izzy. And he says, I don't know about today. I was just wondering if you were going to start a feeding in just a little bit. I would have made sure I kind of watch my my night feed, because I don't want to intrude on your regular feed, Cindy. Unless we kind of made it and it's high, we're both together and everything. That way, everyone knows to jump back and forth between channels, which is actually real good for YouTube. That kind of thing, that action can help. He says hi, Cindy. He says, been working as much as possible. Well, I know that feeling, Cindy. I really do. Living down here where I am right now, it's a constant work just to get out here and stream, and a constant work just to keep going and keep moving and keep up with everything. Kevin says 80 pounds, awesome. Yeah, I have broken the 100-pound mark on flathead catfish, but that was years ago. I mean, years. Back in the 80s or something. Ooh, that was thunder. And he says, never worry about that. I kind of do, Cindy. I really do, because I know that people have their own little time slots. And as far as our community is concerned, we really don't want to super intrude on those the particular areas. I mean, I don't mind. I like the competition, to be honest. But at the same time, I've seen people, yeah, it's just I like to keep, because I've done a few night feeds recently, and I didn't want to intrude. And he says, yeah, I'm there, Miss Cindy, and might be just watching. But if you're on, I'm there. Me too, Cindy. I was in your last live feed. I was just so pooped I didn't want to talk. I turned you on in the tent and just left you on. Let's see, Cindy says, Bambi, and I appreciate you. He says, good luck to you today. Awesome, Izzy. Hope you have a great rest of your day, my friend. And hope you enjoy the show. If you didn't watch much of it, make sure to just come back in when I finished her up. You can watch some incredible fishing, and you can skip through it real quick and get the commercials and get me my nickel. He says, work, 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 my man. Yep. Work, 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 work. And he says, I have so many people I support. Anytime I'm probably always colliding with someone. Yeah, see, you've been around, Cindy, and I mean, you've been doing YouTube live feeds probably 4 times longer than I have. And you do some really long live streams. I only do like 3 and 4 hour feeds at most. So I kind of pop into a time zone when people are not really, I don't see a lot of people out streaming. Usually between midday, you know, people are out, you know, getting lunch, you know, driving back and forth to work, that kind of thing. So not a lot of live streamers, but I have been doing some night feeds, so I just wanted to make sure. No worries. She says, thank you, Cindy. 20 incredible people in and 118 thumbs up, folks. I think we're gonna kind of run for the 3 hour and 30-minute mark today. And here comes another train, folks. This is an Amtrak train. So this is a quick and much more quiet one. Yeah, this is a passenger train here. It's a much smaller one as well. I'm seeing Abby. How you doing today, Abby? Abby says, hey, Day. How you doing today, Abby? Let me go refresh this drive. How you doing, Abby? Looks like something dibble on that corn on this one too. And when I put the filter into the bank, it definitely got a bite. Yeah, we're just gonna give it about another 10 minutes, folks. So we're at 3 hours and 20 minutes. Just another 10 more minutes. And I think we're gonna call it. That'll be 3 hours and 30 minutes. That'll give me enough time to go back to the gas station, you know, recharge my all my equipment and all my electronics. See if I can do my best to get out here a second time. We've been doing real good on our night stream. I know it's hard to see because I don't have a lot of special, you know, lights and stuff yet. Just a couple smaller lights and a fire. But last night stream we got like a couple 7-8 pound blue cat, one 12-pound blue cat, a big carp. Missed a couple others. Man, that was a heck of a stream. Our last night's stream. Got bit by 3 million ants, a couple thousand mosquitoes. Yep. He says, Abby. Cindy says, I'm about to have to get ready and run to the post office. Those duck races make me work. Yeah, but we do enjoy them, Cindy. We really do. All right, Cindy, have a great rest of your day, and please drive safe, my friend. And don't forget the stamps and the spit to put on said stamp. As Cindy said, it was fun. So glad you enjoyed, Cindy. Abby says, have a great day, Cindy. That was just awesome, folks. I do love chatting with Cindy. She's good. She's got a few years on me, but she is so fun to talk to. I've been trying to get her down here to tackle some big old grass carp because she's never caught a grass carp before. Yeah, she is amazing, Abby. Wow, this was fun, folks. This was just fun. Man, the adrenaline is just starting to wear off after that run. If you need a good adrenaline rush, come down to your local river or pond with a can of corn and some freshly dug worms and hold on tight. Especially if you're using like a little light gear or something. Even if your like little creek or pond has only got like little carp or grass carp or little bluegill or brim or whatever. Go out there and wet the lines and see if you can snag a few of them suckers. Let's see, Dan says, hi, Abby. 324. We're getting there, folks. How's my battery extender doing? And she's ran out. So what's our battery charge? 78%. So yeah, these little like battery extenders, they do pretty good. So that made a usually a 3 to 3.5 hour feed. An older cell phone you've had for about 6 months will drain the battery. Now, a new cell phone will last about 4 hours. But with that, I could do a 5 hour feed and just barely probably make it. Yeah, you only got dropped in the sand once, folks. I'm sorry about that. I know someone complained. I think they had to call the EMTs. Someone got a foo-boo in the sand. A little boo-boo on their... Yeah. What was I saying? I don't know. I was like, you know, what happened there? That one went over my head. Yeah, a few of them chargers. Yeah, this one lasts pretty good. This one lasts about 3.5, 4 hours. So now it won't keep your cell phone 100% charged. If it starts with 100%, it'll keep it like 75 to 80%. So yeah, I just noticed the thing shake. It just turned off now at 3 hours and 30 minutes. So now on Amazon, these come for 2 for $10. $2 for 10 of these guys. No, 10 for 2, I mean. Duh. I had that wrong. Save mindful when the power goes out. That's a pretty good idea. I think I have one battery extender back in my tent. I didn't bring it. Yeah, I just brought one, so I have 2 of those. So 10 of those cost 2 of those cost $10. I got mixed up. Now, here comes another train, folks. This is another loud one. I also have a power port on my scooter, which also allows me to plug into the main power from the scooter, just in case you get lost or something and you need to keep some juice in your cell phone. Drains the scooter a little faster, but $3.28, folks. Just 2 minutes left before I think we're gonna shut her down. See, I have 5 rechargeable lanterns too. They're solar. Wind up and plug in. Wind up and plug in. Man, I wish I had those right now. I've got two lights that are basically they're rechargeable, of course, but they have to plug into the wall, and they last about 4 hours apiece. And oh, let's see. Yeah, I have my scooter, which has 2 lights on it as well, so that's 4 lights I can use. Yeah, I know Walmart sells them. It's just didn't have the money for it the last time I was out there. And I got kind of kicked out on my butt recently, so I had to set up a campsite down here on the river. That's what I've been doing down here recently. Yeah, I can't get into a new place till the first of the month, so. Let's see, Big Boy, how you doing, Big Boy Rails? Just in time to see the train for the last of the day, buddy. How you doing, my friend? Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Yep, they are definitely awesome. There's some incredible stuff out there if you got the funds to pay for them. I just had enough for a tent and 2 lights, 2 basically of the cheapest rechargeable lights they had. LEDs, of course, but yeah, they're still good. Big boy says, hi, brother Mike. Nice train. Bonnie says, they are awesome if you got the funds. Let's see, Abby says, hey, Big. Abby says, I like Walmart. Big boy says, what's up? We're fixing to shut her down. We just broke 3 hours and 30 minutes. I don't think we're going to go 4 hours because I want to try to do another live stream later on this evening. Yeah, we caught a lot of fish, and I still have to get back to the gas station and recharge all my gear before we set out on. I'd like to get a few more night crawlers, to be honest, but yeah, she's been a little tough down here recently. See, Gail says, thanks, Mike, for a great fun day. All right, you too, Gail. Awesome, my friends. I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. See, Abby says, thank you so much. And like I said, big boy, just in time for our final train. Thank you, Abby. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you guys so much for dropping by. And again, thank you so much, Dan, for that. Yeah. And thank you, thank Heather for me. Well, all right. Let's see. We got stuff. All right. Hey, folks. I think we're gonna call her. I'm just gonna have my old good luck. Stay safe. Hope to see you on the water, my friends. Keep doing what you love. Keep the lines tight. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great rest of your day, my friends. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye.